Sound good? Remember to hit live. This is the way. There we go. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Dr. Nick. Is that where you're going? Or not quite?
No.
Oh.
We asked you all here because we'd like to talk to you about something serious.
Is your voice okay there, buddy?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
There we go.
Hi, guys!
Hi, we're here to talk about Strange New Worlds. How's it going? We're Trekyards.
It's like I said in our spoiler-filled interview. Did lightning strike twice? That is the question of today's video. Because, yes, you know, most people rather enjoyed episode 1. There was a nary dissent in the community. I think it was like, yeah, we all enjoyed it. Varying degrees, of course, but yeah. But they do it twice. And considering they've actually filmed or filming 2 full seasons before they even get any commentary from us, it's interesting. They can't necessarily, you know, they can't change course if they haven't had feedback from us as the fans. So, you know, these ones are going to be very what they are. So it's good that we like them. Otherwise, it's like, yep, let's change course only in season 2.5 and 3. And it's like, well, 3's a long way away, probably.
Well, you know, season 3 is the season that all Star Trek shows get their legs. Bullshit. Anyway.
Okay. I did do a poll, Stuart. Early on.
You did.
Vote now. What did I say, Stuart?
He said, which episode did you prefer of Strange New Worlds? Episode 1, Episode 2, or both? The exact same quality.
And I don't tend to do both as a question, but I thought I'd do it for this one.
It's a good question.
Yeah, it was worth asking.
All right. Well,
I'll start
showing. Share while I talk to these people. Yes. 59 people here, 25 likes. Hit that like button. Let's get up to 50 likes if possible. We would appreciate that. And yeah, super chat away. We want to hear your thoughts on this episode. We want to, we do read all the super chats on the air. You can also send a PayPal to trekyards@hotmail.com if you want to help support the channel. Yeah, we're looking forward to your input on this one, guys. So all that being said, you know the routine. You can hit that join button down below. Obviously, make sure you're subscribed and click the bell notification icon to all so you get notified when we do our uploads. We got a lot of breakdown videos from this one as well, which you'll be seeing over the course of the weekend and next week. So you don't want to miss those. Nor do you want to miss the lives that we have all week. So by all means, make sure you do all those things. Also, click that join button, see if you want to join the channel. We would really appreciate the subscription. It helps us out. It's a monthly way to kind of support the channel, so you don't have to super chat all the time if you don't have the ability or just don't want to. But you can still support us that way. Also, Patreon/Trekyards is another way to do that. There's also a lot of cool stuff in the description of every video. There's links to Eagle Moss, there's links to other stuff, and of course there's the TeePublic and the Teespring and the TeePublic store, which have some really cool Trekyards merchandise. So please consider checking those out as well. Actually, right now I think all the T-shirts are $14. So it's a pretty good sale. I think it's today is the last day actually. And happy Friday the 13th, by the way, everybody. So yeah, click that link down below for the TeePublic store and check out the shirts that are all on sale. Get yourself some cool stuff. That would be a good thing to do. My hair looks all disheveled and frizzled today, doesn't it? Yes, that's because I've been outside doing many things, and it's all like frizzy. It happens. All righty. Well, we'll just wait for Samuel to get back, and then we will get into this. So, too much singing and humming, says Randy Miller. Oh no. Comet has one M. Yes, it does. That's the Samuel thing. He spelled it wrong on the thumbnail, apparently. Good job. I didn't notice it, so there you go. So you notice the comments or the title of the live is correct. Just the thumbnail is an error, so that's okay. Anyhow. Oh my god, it was great. It felt like Trek in 2 episodes in, and I'm not questioning a mediocre storyline that will be carried on for 10 episodes. Exactly. Yeah. All right. So Samuel.
Hello, I'm back.
I hate to tell you this, but you spelled Comet wrong in the thumbnail. Not a big deal. I didn't notice it till now, so I just thought I'd point it out. Somebody in the chat did. Anyhow. Anyway, yeah. Hit that like button, guys. 78 likes, or 78 people here. Sorry, 37 likes. Let's go to 50 to start. That's a great way to start. Ooh, Kid 10K threw in a $20 PayPal and says, hot dogs and burgers on the grill and Trekyards. Life is good. Hell yeah. I'm going to have barbecue this weekend.
He does
Having some
love
friends
his
over,
grill.
so grilling is nice. Makes me feel like a man.
All the jokes we've made there, but we're all better than that. We're all better than that.
Anyway, yeah. Go out on the poll too. I forgot to mention the poll when we were doing my ramble.
I'm interested to know what you guys think. Because me and Stu
Yes.
disagree, so that's always fun. In terms of that question, I mean. Can I change the thumbnail while it's live?
Should be able to. Just on the regular.
I've never tried that before. I'll probably have to do it after.
I think it's possible.
I'll do it after because I don't want to. Oh, wait, maybe. Hey, okay, good. I just had to reverse engineer it a little bit.
Yes.
Aha.
There you go. Anyway, we got that all sorted. So,
Stu, what do you think of
Michael
season? Okay.
Michael Strathmore, but right at the time you're going to ask, $2, feels as if Spock is written like Data, not Spock. Disagree. He felt very Spock-like to me, like a younger Spock. I think it's fine. I can see why you'd say that, though. I even compared him to this Data in the review, the edited review. I was hoping that he wouldn't just laugh during the conversation. So
see, that's a really salient point. It's probably because they're very interchangeable in their rough mannerisms, but because the actors are so different, Nimoy and Brent, that created a very different vibe. This is now a third actor now doing a similar vein. I can certainly see some of the lines. He is certainly relatively monotone in some scenes. It's like the actor picks when he plays into the emotion card a bit more. And in this version compared to Discovery, he's far more reserved than he would have been in that show, which works well as a Spock. But I can see some lines that certainly you could see verbatim Data and you wouldn't think anything of it. Yeah, I think he's channeling a reasonably good Nimoy. Just looks much younger. He's not actually much younger, but he looks much younger. I don't know if he feels necessarily younger, because what is a younger Vulcan if not? Like, he's not being yelling or holding circuity yelling. Like, none of that's carrying through, which I appreciate, really. He's only a few years. Like, he should have grown up by now. But it's hard to... It's really difficult with how to play this sort of character. I think he's doing a fine job, but I can see some Data parallels. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, your question was, what did I think about it?
So, Stuart, what do you think of season 1, episode 2, Children of the Comet?
I thought it was pretty great, actually. There's things about this one I liked a little bit more than the first one. A lot of the space were really cool. It was kind of getting more of an appreciation for it somewhat. So, other than that, all the characters are written well. I think the dialogue is good. There's a few little issues I have, small little things here and there, but overall, as a cohesive piece, very good. I think it's probably more enjoyable for me than this first one, but it's kind of a close call. So, yeah. And I gotta say, the alien was great. The ship felt very TOS, the alien ship. There's a lot of TOS aspects here that definitely hold true. So yeah, I enjoyed this one quite a bit. So that's my take.
And definitely let us know what you guys
How
think.
about you?
We want to know both super chat, non super chat, and poll results as well. Let us know what you guys think. And sorry about Stu's internet. It happens sometimes. You know, we are across the ponds. As long as I've got clear internet, I'm on streaming this. So as long as I'm clear, then you guys are fine. Can you still hear me, Stuart?
Yes.
Hard to tell. You're not really moving. Sorry, guys.
Hi. How are you? You're crystal clear on my end, so I don't understand the problem.
Well, you can see the live. You're really not so good on mine. But read the super chats though while we see if the internet clears up.
Simon Uphill, 20 euros. Hey fellas,
Boom.
So stoked about this new show. Looks and feels great with 2 wonderful stories so far. Legacy characters feel like the actors making them their own, and still the characters we know and love. Yes.
Good summary.
Sideshow Kaz stuff throws in £1.80. We got some Hemmer. Yes, but it wasn't really ever Hemmer time. And
yes, minimally used, but that's fine.
And Steve Farr, £5. Love the Samuel Kirk nod to Galaxy Quest. Deliberate? Discuss. I didn't get a nod to Galaxy Quest at all. He has a mustache.
Well, he looks very similar to Sam Rockwell as well, and his mannerisms are quite similar. I mean,
yeah, but he wasn't like freaking out. Like, do you guys know my name? I want to make sure you know my name on the away mission, just so you know. You know what, Sam? It's actually George Kirk, but you can call me Sam. You know, wasn't any of that shit. So I don't see the similarity.
It's more everything else about him. But I think it's just a happy accident because he does. You know, the moustache is from Kirk from back in the day, and they happen to look somewhat like him. But then everything else is just choosing to be quite jazzed, and that's very Guy. So totally unintentional. I'm sure when they got on set, they're like, "Does he look like Guy from Galaxy Quest?" Oh shit, he does. Well, we're on set, right? We're not gonna change it, are we? No, we're not. Cool. But I don't think it was an intentional reference, so much as a fun thing. Oh, and also, I know he's not necessarily going to see us, but happy birthday to our legendary legend, Matt Boardman. It's his birthday today.
Yes, it is. Happy birthday, Matt.
Great quality work. He's not here, but I just realised it's because he's not here. That's his birthday. Oh, birthdaying, I assume, you know. But yes, what did I think? I liked it, I didn't love it. But when you set the bar so high, the bar then to raise to find that point is high. I think lots of small things that I didn't like as much, which then collectively pull it down a bit. I thought the story was interesting. I loved the reveal at the start of the force field. I thought that was very natural. I didn't see it coming. I thought it was a nice pop. I thought Uhura got a great introduction while being, you know, they're clearly giving one character the center each week and then kind of alternate as we go, so it kind of lets you really know about them in one big chunk. Because they didn't give the Khan lady almost anything to do this week, but she was there, but she almost had no lines in some scenes where she could have. But that's because they got to, you know, pass out which one is which character, which is absolutely fine. That works great. They're certainly conceiting the captain's quarters is so astronomically huge it makes no sense of any kind, because he does things like this. You know, they showed us how silly it is by literally having an 8-person party with making dinner. Like, they kind of showed us the ludicrousness by playing into it. So, like, okay, they know it's silly, and they're going to use it. And I'm wondering if they're rolling back on certain things, because I've got a video came out about no window view screen, and no replicators, despite making a full meal. So, is this them now saying...
Hello. Hi.
Is this them saying because they cooked all the food, they didn't even show replica or hint it? Is that them saying, well, actually, no, we're going back to TOS where they didn't use replicators, they used chefs and such? I wonder if that's a hint, because there's several things that were sort of taking back from Discovery level tech, and even like the helmet thing talked about. Like, so many subtle things. We're not going to acknowledge that stuff, we're doing our own thing.
No, I think it's just a testament to Chris Pike being more old-fashioned and just cooking a meal for his friends. There's two things in the background when they're doing the dishes that look like two replicators side by side. Could be microwaves or whatever, but we'll look at those when we get there. It could replicate the ingredients and then cook,
Which, if they got replicators, is what they did. I'm just wondering if they, it's very anti-discovery in that way. They just went to a little pod, and I just thought it was interesting to make that such a big component of the episode. The alien stuff was all fun. The ship appears out of nowhere, and it feels really daft. Both times it feels really daft. And once the aliens start being a threat, the episode kind of takes a little bit of a dive for me because their threat is very poorly set up and isn't correct, even to the point where they even talk about it's so advanced they can destroy us, and yet they're able to. They do attack it successfully, but don't disable its weapons. But then the weapons then don't have the same effect on them. But they're torpedoes; they wouldn't be affected by destroying a. They're non-entities really in the third act, which kind of lets it down. And the plan with the Comet is not well said to the audience. That you are. I was certainly confused both times. I could understand why it doesn't really connect visually. And when they're meant to track to beam the Enterprise out at the end, they don't. You don't see it. You don't feel it. There's a big. There's just a disconnect in the third act of what the actors are saying and what the visuals are happening, or they forgot to film a moment, which kind of pulls away from it a bit. And I do think the LED wall, while beautiful, it makes the entire last segment in the room. Some of the shots look extremely flat, because it is just a flat wall. Like it is just a wall. When it's dark and all, and do these very in-depth out of focus shots, it looks phenomenal. But the longer those scenes went on, you realize the actors can't move very far. They can't do very much, and it's the same sort of shots again and again. So the creativity sort of goes less and less as the episode goes on. So it's just an episode that kind of loses momentum, I think, and the antagonists, when you try and keep a baddie good at the end, it makes them harder to relate as bad guys because they're not bad guys. So there's a few definitely like they just didn't. It was better on paper than it was in execution, and that always happens. Not going to blame them. I don't think it's intentional bad writing or bad scripting. They just had a few, oops, that didn't quite work, oops, didn't quite work, that's fine, cool, moving on. Apart from that, though, still solid, still good story, good ideas, good Pike, good aliens. Also small thematic, niggling things that I can see as a filmmaker. It's like, that's not quite as good, that's not quite as good. But talk about a great introduction to Uhura. And I look forward to seeing the next week's character introduction, because they're really dedicating time to the point that they can feel like there's a full arc with Pike, a small arc with the episode, an arc with a character, all the sub-arcs with all the different other characters. It's a very broad sort of feeling show, and it's only 2 episodes. So, good job.
I Am Misi throws in $10. Was it just me, or did Hammer sound a lot like Shran at first? Thought it was Jeffrey Combs for a second.
Huh.
No, I think it was just you.
I mean, that would have been cool, though.
Would have been. Taylor T, $20.
Oh,
thanks so much, Taylor.
Please, thank you.
I very much enjoyed this episode. I'd rather my Trek heroes solve their problems with investigation and music than brainless fighting through. I love seeing the 1701 maneuvering in space. Also love the tricorder defibrillator. Which, by the way, they spelt defibrillator wrong on the tricorder screen, just for the record. But
2 other comments. NZ Fade. This one episode was better than the entire last season of Discovery, Samuel. Yes.
Yeah.
But last episode was better than, for sure.
Kit 10K, $10 PayPal, says, random ass question. Since replicated food tends to not taste as good as normal food, could replicating the ingredients and making it yourself taste better? Yes.
1000%.
Add more salt. You can add more whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, computer replicate 1 ounce of oregano. More flavor. That's it. I mean, I guess in theory you could actually say add an extra ounce of oregano in the replicated mix. But the idea is that it's chemically reacting organically. It's not guaranteed. So I love the fascination of the replicators where if you call for chicken soup, it will taste the same every single day you have it. And then it becomes almost not tasting it because we like the variation. We almost like the disappointment when a takeaway meal that we think is gonna be great is okay, because when it is good, you really notice it. So perfect food every time. And I can imagine they'd certainly. I mean, you'd think there'd be on some ships or some replicas a programmed randomization. So if you've had if you want the chicken soup every morning, you have the computer say activate Paris program 14, which like changes all the ingredients by like 3%. So there's a subtle variation. I could see that being a programmed randomness, which would help to make variate. Because yeah.
Well, that's what Data did with his cat food. He had tried different formulas, adding different stuff. He had like a few different formulas for Spot. So.
But I mean, just like super random. Yeah. Would be fun. And 133 votes, though, guys. Very interesting result so far. I'll wait to read until we hit 150 votes. But vote now. Very interesting results. Very, very interesting. But we start with the rather excellent introduction of these aliens. And I think they're played just long enough, just well enough. They put enough money in to make you feel good. Really good makeup. They're both, not forehead aliens, but still forehead aliens. So it's nice, both grounded, but also creative. And they're just enough. And it's just like secondly directed in the quarry next door for a day, and it's exactly like that footage because you feel for them, just enough. You need to see them to care. So it was a really nice introduction. Very Star Trek. Very nice.
And we get a cadet's log over topic talking that of Uhura, saying she's going to. Well, Lieutenant Ortega is invited. Well, told her to dress nicely when she got invited to the captain's table.
Very
to maybe
NX-01
wear her dress. Yeah, maybe wear her dress uniform. So
definitely made me giggle in a small way. Film very unprofessional, but as they say, it's a small ship and they get bored. Because of course, Uhura did count it's not that small a ship, but the fact is, if most parts of the ship are the same corridor, going and every deck is the same corridor, give or take, like it's gonna feel like almost the same space. It's gonna feel tiny. So yeah, it is a small ship. Although I do not like her cadet uniform still, even though in the context it doesn't look in one iota a cadet dress uniform from this era. Like the person who designed this this is the intern. Like every time she cut to her in the thing, I thought, oh, she's from the future. Like cause it's just so TNG dress uniform, but like Star Trek Online, it's their worst mistake so far. Which is considering that's a compliment because everything has been so good. That's an absolute massive miss. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, I didn't really like what Ortega's was wearing either, though. It was a little too informal.
I mean, she just walked onto the set from her trailer. Like those are her clothes. Like that sort of vibes which she's giving. It definitely feels like a fan film. Like she's just the actress not on a take, and she's the TNG fan film, and they're like.
Yeah.
But I do like the walk and talks because the sets are so bright. I wish they had more color. I keep thinking as they go by, the doors aren't quite enough to pop in colour. I wish they had a bit more. But they're still bright, they're still light, they're still friendly. I love their walking talks because that is such an important part of Trek and you don't realize until they're missing.
Emil S. Bodie Willis throws in $2 with no comment, but thank you so much.
There's a comment.
Super chats are all important. It's right underneath.
Yes.
Hey guys, love your show. Also love the fact that in this episode they had to use music to communicate with the Comet. How do you guys feel about that? I think it's great. It's a good idea. And like it's kind of explained in the episode, music is the universal language, essentially. I love how they even have the boom, boom, boom from Close Encounters of a Third Kind. That was really good. Yeah.
Which is funny because in Discovery they made a big point of math being the universal, and this one, 2 episodes later, pretty much from that show, music is. No, it's lovely, and it also helps to continue to make this alien species totally unrelatable. Like that's that. Like you understand the concept of music equals language, but we learn nothing else. So it keeps them ethereal and yet being, well, we can maybe communicate, but even if they're so far away. No, it's nice. I kind of wish we had more on that, but we're running out of episodes, so it's fine.
Kit 10K sent another $10 PayPal saying, "It's back. I'm gonna issue my Trekyards challenge and match the highest super chat through PayPal." So there you go. Can't keep track of the super chats so far. The highest one is there's €20.
There's 21, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I gotta say, love Pike's reaction here.
Oh yes, it's perfect.
He doesn't.
I love how he's like, "Oh, dress uniform, right? I'm gonna go finish making the ribs." So she's wearing like the nicest uniform and with the messiest food. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh yeah. Although it's red, so.
True,
but it's nice because he doesn't make fun of her. He genuinely appreciates her effort, but probably also understands that this might be a thing. But also, no, like it's not. It's the smallest.
But he knew it was a thing. You can tell he was he knew that this was what the cadets did or the people do.
I think it could just be he thinks she's so like into it. I think it's so ambiguous it could be either, which is why I like it. It's just a fun, like, he played it beautifully, I think.
No, I think he's in on it for sure.
Oh, and it's so
Enterprise bingo.
Yes, I hope that comes back. That'd be a fun thing. And there's lots of little. See, the story stuff I think has some faults, but the character stuff I think is really on point. Number one, we're like, "Hello, it's good to see you. Good to see." Oh, you're just being polite. Oh, like she's so unpersonable that her pretending to be personable because it's her duty instantly goes away. And it's not to be mean. It's just that's not who she is, and they say that on the trailers. Like, I'm not that lass, and her's like, "Oh, I want to talk to somebody." I like the little, because she's literally like weeks, days on the ship, and she's been invited to the senior crew. This is a big deal, you know.
The Fed Doc, $2 Australian.
Thank you.
I like Ortegas. She has a very good level of sassy. Yeah, I'm really liking her character too. I'm not sure I would going into this, but yeah, I really do like her.
I think there's 2 lines I would have rewritten for her that are just a bit too, not necessarily tone deaf, just you're a bit in the wrong mindset. You should be more professional right now. But that's 2 out of like 30, so I'll give her an absolute pass. You know, obviously I write Keeley somewhat similar, so I get the sassy characters, but sometimes it's a bit like, well, time and place. But yeah, for the most part, I give her a solid B+ for right time, right place.
And Uhura offers to help Hemmer because she can see that he's blind or whatever.
Which is a nice little character moment, even though it's not played hugely. It's just gentle.
Yeah. I was just taught to help people that were, you know, impaired. It's like, there's that word again. I really like this interaction. A good introduction to the Hemmer character. Even the telegraphing the carrot throw with the telepathy, just to prove a point from Spock was really good. Like, this is really good, well written. So, yeah.
Like, it doesn't necessarily make either look the best, but that's kind of part of the fun, because you don't know if Hemmer's actually being a bit pissy, but it's kind of like if you're a celebrity and you've got a catchphrase and someone walks up the street and says the catchphrase, it will get tiresome.
Grapthor's hammer.
Yeah, it'll get tiresome within days of the film coming out, and then you've now got to live with it for decades and decades and decades. So I very relatable. He's just like, of course, the first thing everyone think, oh, Enar blind, can't do it, and he's frustrated. I mean, the fact he's made it to this point on the 12 best ships in the fleet, and yet all they see is blind man, which is, I'm sure the actor can. I mean, he's bringing up his own personal spin to it. It's very relatable, even if he's too grumpy to be fun, because you understand where he's coming from, and then they turn at the end of Spock, they kind of get it. Yeah, it works really well as a you know, introduction. But boy,
after she turns around, he's like, "Oh, I like her."
Yeah,
Spock's like, "Indeed,"
because he's used to being like this, so he's like, "Yeah, but I see why she's fun."
Yeah.
But boy, this room is huge. I mean, the fact they can have these scenes, it feels like a full restaurant. It's insanely big. I mean, this has got to be like a good portion of 10 forward size from TNG. It is ginormous.
Yeah. Did you have an issue with the shutters being closed to have like white light as opposed to the outside space?
I didn't notice it the first time, but second time I did. Yeah, what do you think?
I kind of like that you can do this because it would brighten the room up and make it feel more natural. Even on the one wall by the kitchen, he's got like a forest scene.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it was so subtle I didn't notice it the first time, but we did complain in season 2 and 3 of Discovery where they literally, because they don't want to do the stars, they shone really bright orange lights out, which is fine if you're next to a sun, but if you're not next to a sun, it's silly, especially in some scenes you know they aren't near a sun. It was too much. Here it's very diffuse. It fits in, just looks like a window, a light source. I would have preferred stars, but I like the vibe. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It would have been nice if Pike had said in dialogue, "Computer, ambience, window," like if he had made it a thing. So I'd love to have seen the transition from stars to ambient, rather than just.
Or even have a few white, 1 or 2 with the stars showing.
Yeah,
like they're not all closed or whatever.
So that we know in universe, it's. I mean, you can see there are shutters, which if you stall, which is fine and fun. It does make like a daylight scene, which is it's really interesting. I have no complaints, just interesting thoughts. Yeah, and first in canon reference of Nausicaans, because Nausicaans. No, I guess they're Enterprise. No, I'm wrong. But yeah, Nausicaans in pre-TOS. They experience Nausicaans. More Nausicaans, please. I like Nausicaans.
His whole security guard story, and then I never understood why humans laugh at others' misfortune, and the whole sometimes things are so ridiculous you just have to laugh. And then she started telling the story about her parents dying, and I'm like, please, for the love of God, do not make Spock laugh at that as like having just like something Data might do. But yeah, they didn't do that. Yeah. I don't know, just good. I love the closeness and familiarity with this crew, which kind of I think explains some of the less professionalism on the bridge at times, just because they're so accustomed to each other. And I think Pike is one that kind of encourages that kind of thing most of the time. I think there's probably like a good 10% where you'd be like, no, serious now.
So, we haven't seen it yet, but that'll be one episode out of 10. And this is a pretty dense scene, actually. That this is the sort of scene that you wouldn't get in Discovery. It's just so personable, so character-based. There's no action. It's all good. It has to be good dialogue to work. And they just have to sort of click. Like Saru and Burnham would feel so non-genuine, They tried it once and it was okay. This all kind of feels more legitimate. But yeah, for me, the Uhura story was a bit much. It's sad to give on a Legacy 6 the darkest of backstories. I know she played it off as it's fine, it happened years ago, but it happened not very long ago, and it now defines everything else about her character, but it obviously never did, so it's a weird thing to take in. But I absolutely adore the how do you see yourself in 10 years, and then Pike's like, well...
Yeah, he pauses,
disabled with a burned face. That's really nice, and I didn't expect they would obviously play into this so much, but he's such a strong man to be able to deal with this, and obviously certain things just triggered that, and I thought it was a really nice, really, really gut-wrenching little beat, and just played to perfection by him. Although it does make me think, the way the same plays out is that she is telling everybody for the first time the story. But the fact is that Pike and Number One would have probably read her briefing report, and it would have included parents deceased. So he should have already know this, and she's brand new on the ship. So the way he says it, it feels if he doesn't know, but he should know. That's kind of part of his job. What do you think? So I didn't think that the first time, but the second one I'm like, well, you should know that, and Number One definitely would know it.
I just kind of hear I want to see what he says here, because she's humming. He asks about that. Says you 12 languages. It's 37 actually.
But 22 obscure African languages, he was about right. Those aren't going to be useful out here.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny, but he was right. Give or take.
Let's see, what does he say right before she talks about that?
Well, it's right at the end when he just says, "I'm really sorry." That's all he says. It's just the way he says it. It's like it feels like he doesn't know, but he should know.
Oh.
That's all.
Oh. Yeah.
Because it would be in a file as one of the big things. So.
Yeah.
Well, if you know Space 12 languages, I mean, it's a very small thing, and you can play it as I'll let her tell me, and I'll say I don't know. It's just like I say, I think. It's fine.
Yeah, but I love how she's like, even I'm not sure Starfleet's for me. That whole thing. He's like,
their reaction is beautiful. Yeah.
Never heard a cadet say that. So, yeah.
And the shock on all their faces, because she's fresh, not out of the academy. They're all years and years in. Everyone's like, and I appreciate that they specifically call out, you be out. Oh, 1,000 Spock? No, several thousand. Like they never really go back to that in TNG from TNG where Wesley's one of the 5 and the 5 is one of the several thousand. Like that is the step process, and they only get a handful. So 5 cadets each year, and each one of those beat like 6,000 people to get here. That's astoundingly big. I'm so glad they said that the exact weight it should be given, because it's big. Starfleet is not big. There isn't that many cadets each year. Very knowing. Felt very knowing.
Well, yeah, and that leads into the walk and talk with her and Spock, where Spock's like, you know what, Starfleet's a lifelong ambition for a lot of people, myself included. Yep. So if you're not sure you want to be here, maybe you should consider making way for someone who actually does want to walk this path. I thought it was so well done.
It's so gentle, but so pointed.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's saying it very friendly, but the fact is, don't ruin this for someone else, especially for the Enterprise. And then the amount of emotion he puts on even me, even though not emoting, you just feel it. You really do. Very, very good. Like this, I think, was probably his best little scene as Spock, just for the subtext that he plays in character. It's a very small beat. I think it was his best scene in the episode.
Yeah. Let's see. 5-0 Charlie puts in $5.
Thanks, Charlie.
Personally, I like the ridiculously large captain's quarters. It feels just right for a visual reboot. Plus, it's bigger than my apartment. Well, that's the thing, too. You got to think under Pike's command, the Enterprise had like 230 personnel. Under Kirk's, it has 430, which makes me wonder if the ship's the same size.
Which it isn't.
Well, no, from Pike to Kirk, let's
sure.
say. Bigger quarters in Pike's time, yet less crew, yeah. But then when they had to expand the crew to do more outward missions, perhaps, they had to redo the inside to accommodate more people, which would make sense by Kirk has smaller quarters.
50%. Wow. I mean, my only thought is that it's bigger than any other captain in Starfleet. It's bigger than both the Sovereign and the D. It's bigger than the Voyager. It's bigger than everybody. So it just feels, like if Galaxy class isn't bigger, the hell. But the thing, they're basically using it as the like mini 10 forward set. And we learned in the ready room that they built sets they were going, so they don't have the big restaurant set yet that we see in the trailers because that was later filmed. So they're still on. So used his quarter set as the equivalent to that set until that set was built. So that's why. Yeah.
Omnitographer puts in $2. Pike is strong, space dad energy.
Yeah, while still feeling young, like a good, like in his early 40s sort of energy, which I don't think he is.
Richard Kennedy, £5.
Thank you.
Juan reminds me a lot of Malcolm Reed. Obviously English, a bit square and rigid. Not a complaint, though. I like them both. Love Strange New Worlds. And Pike's hair. Yes, Pike's hair's got a lot of compliments this live in the chat, so... Johnny Bravo hair. Casual truck.
Bryce has a great comment. Uhura's parents, the robot cyborg trick in Discovery, on the previous Dax hosts, maybe transporters are the safest way to travel.
Yes.
That's a good point. That's a good... yeah.
Casual Trekker, $5. Can't be just be talking with her and letting her share rather than saying, "Oh yeah, I read that in your file."
No,
Yes.
Yeah. He played it right. It plays either way.
Yeah. Simon Uphill, €5.
Thanks, Simon.
Felt like Uhura's story gave a nice basis for Starfleet becoming her home and the Enterprise crew. Yeah, because he does say, "I hope that you someday find where you truly belong, wherever that may be," he says. So
the thing is, you didn't need that because that was never part of her character. She felt the home without that. For every character, every scene, every movie she was in, this was never part of it. So retconning it, okay, but the actress never needed that to make it feel like a home. So it's just a really, unnecessary retcon. It was clearly fine without it. I kind of wished when they said it, they were hospitalized and like disabled or something. They should look after them and change the vibe, but whatever. But yeah, good walk and talk. Next scene.
Then we get the
dishes
washing
and
the dishes.
What the hell they got? What?
No, but see the things behind?
Yeah.
Behind them, beside the first thing, they almost look like they'd be replicators.
I don't know why you'd need.
So I can see them replicating the ingredients.
I mean,
maybe one's a microwave, one's a replicator. I don't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't need two, so they couldn't be, because captain's privileges. He wouldn't come on, you don't need two. No one needs two.
Maybe also one's for organic, one's for inorganic, like plates and stuff.
Also, look at it. It's literally a kitchen. I didn't see it last week. It's literally a sink, shelves. I mean, this man. I'm guessing he just lives here a lot. Like.
Well, the island in the middle had like a grill on it where he was grilling the ribs and stuff too. Like he's got a full kitchen. He's got a full apartment.
Yeah, it's his apartment. I kind of wish he doesn't have a, because this would make sense if he didn't have a place on Earth. This literally was his house. Thematically, it's like, this is my home, but also he has a big cabin. It's really weird though. This scene is straight out of any sort of comedy, as in like the setup. It's fine. It's just really odd to see.
It feels more like a quarters we'd see on Orville, honestly.
Yeah. but with a bigger budget to like put towards
Yeah.
All those, yeah.
So yeah, she talks to him about the whole Borath incident, and he's like, that 10-year question thing, you know, guessing your future, you know, knowing it kind of takes all the fun out of imagining what it could be.
Yep.
And then she's like, "Have you considered your fate isn't written?" I love the conversation here between the two of them. He names all the people, all the ensigns or cadets that he saves, and yeah, just saying he's been going over and over as a reminder that just stay the course, save their lives, do what needs to be done, get it done. So sent, or Kit 10K sent a $10 PayPal. That said, with the crew size increase, I saw in a beta canon source that said that the Enterprise under Pike has less crew because of supply shortage and tech advance. When Kirk took over, allowed for a bigger crew. Yeah, we've talked about that too, where it's like more advanced systems, smaller size, less need for automation and big machinery.
And more pipes.
So, yes. Yes, carve out part of the ship and give a bigger crew. So,
but also Han says another look at it is Pike is that he's extended his immortal. Yeah, if you know you can't die for 10 years, that's a superpower. Which I mean, it's good they aren't going that well. I'm sure at some point they'll mention, Chris, that means you could walk. Although then, you know, is it predestined? Is it not? Because given the amount of times they've changed time in Trek, why is this thing the set?
Yeah.
All it
they even said it's like, am I being too risks? Am I taking too many risks? Am I not taking enough risks? He's second guessing himself. Like he could literally walk down to the transporter room and say, "Beam me into space. See what's going to happen to the transporter. It's going to fail. I bet you money."
Yeah.
You know,
he could win at space poker. Oh god, he'd be the Russian roulette guy. 50,000 quatloos. One bullet, two chambers. Sir, 50. I order you to bet. So
I think we'll see an instant like that where they're captured or something, and he's going to
just take
do
every
something
risk.
like that.
Just like well, it's kind of like I'm visualizing the Galaxy Quest choppers. It's like, I can just walk through because they will part for me galactically. But I think that's honestly going to be the question. Are they actually going to undo that future? Are they going to work away? Is it going to be two Pikes? Is it going to be a transporter clone? Is it going to be... I mean...
I saw something on Facebook where somebody reimagined him like after the burn, but he had like cybernetics on that side of his face to compensate for it, which is kind of a neat idea.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a very long... It's a lot of screen time to give towards this issue when we know where it goes. Like, I feel like number one's smart enough to know that's not how time works. If it's genuinely... Which we've now seen in this episode, the alien race predicted and knew that Spock was going to do the thing. So despite Control changing the timeline, Michael Burnham changed the timeline, that thing still happened. So in this episode we did get an explicit time is still where it is. And it just seemed odd to have both now you can change it and now you can't change it in the same episode. It's interesting. It could go either way. It really could. They're leaving it on a very interesting note.
Tom Casey, $5. I'll just say Strange New Worlds off to a roaring start. Loved both episodes.
And Michael's second super didn't show up. Michael, do you see one from Michael Strathmore, Stuart?
I do. Ah, bummer. My second super chat didn't go through.
Do you see a super chat from him?
I do not. No.
I'll put it in the put in the chat. We'll read it out anyway. We'd like to know.
Richard Kennedy has been a member for 27 months at the rank of Commander. That's a long time.
God.
Damn, man. That's awesome. So I really hope Spock removes that memory from him.
But then you'd have so much characterization be removed from that. They kind of put in a lot of pillars on that, but it's a possibility. Speaking of though possibilities, we see a very good blowing up your planet shot. That is a gorgeously horrible, gorgeous shot. Very well done. It zooms out, and it's Spock giving a briefing, and it's a very Trek, very good briefing. Yeah, although Hammer's a bit of a dick, but, you know, okay.
Well, it's funny, though. The simulation shows in 2 days it's going to destroy the planet. It's like, well, we could move it with ion engines. It'll take an hour to retrofit, like, 4 photon torpedoes to deliver them. He's like, that's a rosy assessment, considering that I'll be the one doing the work.
Yes, you'll order me to them in 4 hours. I'll say, God damn it, I got 4 hours. Yeah, it's funny.
No, it's good.
And a fair idea as well. Some ion engines. A little bit sad. Torpedoes are red, but they're not photons. They're torpedoes and ion engines. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. But
before we get to that,
okay.
There's one thing that's weird is he says, "Oh, everybody, we've got a planet to save before breakfast." We just had ribs. You were cleaning up from the rib fest. That's confused me a little bit. And then he's like, "I love this job," which is fine. But
I mean, maybe a breakfast for 7 a.m. ribs. 7 a.m. ribs, and then you have maybe a space pre-breakfast.
Maybe they pulled an all-nighter, those two. They were drinking and they were cleaning up in the morning. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was dinner. They drank all night. They woke up this morning. They wake up together? That's the question. Oh, there is a slight time malfunction in this episode because they explicitly say 2 days till it crashes, but right at the end they say 2 hours. So
yeah,
Spock spends over 24 hours on that comet. Confirmed. It's like, really? So they don't. I think they just made some slight script errors of time because that doesn't equate. He spends 12 hours on the thing, and it's certainly not implied at all. It's implied to take about 5 hours the whole mission max. Pretty short, I would say. Don't know if you guys caught
breakfast that. Is. The circle says, "Well, breakfast is after dinner." That's true. That is true. They're going into the night shift, so they got like all night to fix this kind of thing. I guess maybe sure.
But you get some red light blocks. They kind of look weird. I know they just look weird. But they fly, and very Tholey shields, to me. Just the way it's framed. But yeah, they can't get through, and this was a great reveal. I thought this was a nice twist.
And then we get the whole. There's a building on the surface of this comet, and there's a lot of subterranean stuff as well. So there's like a structure there. So we're gonna go down and investigate. I gotta say, I love this briefing / ready room. I think it looks fantastic. I love the display screen.
It's very Art Deco.
I wish it would have been Yeah, it is absolutely. I wish it would have been like a rectangular or a triangular shaped monitor in the center of the table.
Oh yeah, that would have been. Yeah, that would have helped. Yeah, it's a nice room. I like it.
But right off the bridge, it doesn't fit.
Well, there isn't space.
Oh, well.
Literally isn't space on the ship. I mean,
yeah.
But at least Narn gets lines here. I love Pike's Blu-ray shelf as well, color coded. Like it's so. I just kept looking like, what is that? Has vinyls, has Blu-rays, DVDs? I don't know.
And he even says to Kirk, "I'm starting to like the mustache," and Uhura gives him like the.
Both one of those been friends for years sort of vibe.
Yeah.
And then he says, "We thought about growing one," and I thought he had a big beard last week. Yes, he thought about it.
Yeah.
He had it last week, like a day ago. But yeah, it's weird how mustaches aren't really a thing in culture anymore. Normally, you think of them as part of a bygone era or a porn stash or something. It's obviously goatees and beards, but mustaches. I mean, I don't know anyone that has a mustache. My dad does, but that's because he's from those eras. You know what I mean? Do you see many people with mustaches in your line of living?
Not really.
Yeah. Yeah, just
it is a weird thing, isn't it?
Just sort of went the goatee is just so much cooler. It looks fine with it. I have no complaints. Just it's interesting when he points out, it's like, yeah, people don't really have mustaches anymore. Yeah. Then you have the Chapel of Pain.
That's a place I want to go worship, man.
There's so many triple entendres there in your brain. You're so interconnected there, Stu. But before you jump in, I'm going to finish the poll. 187 votes with fascinating results. I asked, which episode do you prefer, Strange New Worlds? Smash success, 53%. Say both the same quality, episode 1 and 2, with 29% say episode 1 and 19% say episode 2. How do you feel about those results, Stuart?
It wouldn't be unexpected. It's not unexpected for me. I think the two are close in quality for different reasons, and they definitely feel like episodic Trek is back, so I understand that both are the exact same quality, being that percentage. So it doesn't surprise me really.
I don't tend to put both option, but I thought in this case that's kind of worth doing because you'd mentioned it earlier. So there you go. Hey, and that doesn't really happen in these tracks. Like 2 even in a row of the same quality, let alone. Right, I'm going to start a new poll while you go into what this is.
Yeah, 164 people here, 104 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get up to 150. Keep the super chats flowing. They're doing well. We want to hear your thoughts on things. So lots to discuss coming up, and we want you to be part of it. So we do read them all on the air. Also, if anybody wants to click that join button and consider subscribing to the channel, I'd really appreciate that. I know Samuel would as well. YouTube might also. I don't know. So look at your options to help us on a monthly basis. We'd really appreciate that. But yeah, Simon Uphill, €5. Oh my, Nurse Chapel got real Majel Barrett vibes in the inoculation scene. Yeah, she likes dishing out the pain. And then Spock's like, I'm well aware of the I'm more than capable of managing the pain you can induce. She's like, oh, Mr. Spock, now you're just toying with me. I thought it was kind of great. And even Uhura's reaction to it. But yeah, this is a good scene. Just suit up.
Yeah, I would say it didn't feel like Chapel at all, but felt like Majel Roddenberry.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't associate any of this with Chapel.
It felt more like Loxana Troy.
Yes.
Something to say, yeah.
Exactly, like a mix between those. So I didn't like. You would not convince me this is Nurse Chapel unless you told me it was. I think she's phenomenal, very sassy and you know very very hot, but not at all Chapel. Chapel was quite restrained, quite simple. I mean, she was a character. She was a person on there, so it's completely different. But I mean, she's been pre-marriage, pre-serious life. But you know, for what it is, it's great and it's fun, and everything she does causes pain. Bloody hell, everything she does. Gosh,
so far, yeah.
Yeah, so far. But yeah, really, really hardcore flirting with Spock. Surprised how direct we're being with that. I guess we have 10 rather than 24, so we've got to kind of go. I like the Uhura thing later with it, so it pays off well. But I'm like, they're really going all in on that.
I gotta say too, I love the suit up process. Putting that from that angle, that just looks like a TOS phaser straight up. It
does.
With no changes, and yeah.
Yeah, best part of the uniform is a phaser going into the holster, which is like not even the uniform. Yeah, no, he does, and just those details, those crisp silvers just pop so beautifully. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And their helmets go down, which is quite subtle actually. You could almost miss it because there's even a scene later on when Spock doesn't have his helmet, but you can't tell. It's just because his voice sounds normal, so it's very minimal. I'm kind of intrigued by the design choice.
Michael Strathmore has failed super chat questions posted up. Okay, Ribfest, Johnny Bravo, 100% feels like he's half-assing his duties. He should know Uhura's file. He's always asked bridge crew what to do. He doesn't even learn from his prejudiced salad comment. No, it's just his command style. He likes to have a natural conversational tone going on with his crew. That's my thought anyway.
Well, he's a real team player that makes the decisions with listening. You know, I think he'd rather be a friend 51% of the time, whereas Kirk is more of be a commander 65% of the time, except with 2 besties and everyone else is at arm's length in an okay way. He's just a more chill. I think they'll probably bite him in the butt later. I think he's gone too far, but that's fun for now. But that's part of the story, you know.
Now, when they were beaming down, I got kind of concerned because, again, they went behind everybody and did the camera, like, roll around. I thought they were going to beam out like that again. I'm glad they didn't because they did that the first episode. Instead of they focused more on Uhura and saw her beam out, which is great. But kind of digging the transporter room. I like it. But it's way too big. But, hey, looks cool.
Yeah, I still love the sound effect. Beautiful, glorious. This time, second time, I did notice the LED wall more. just the flatness of the backdrop. But you know, it's a short scene. We go into the room, and very, very, very Aliens or Prometheus vibes, I should say. This before it all activates, which I like how it glows later, so you get two distinct vibes. Although it's sad that Kirk is just the what is he there? What's he here to be, Stuart?
Comic relief or a red shirt?
Red shirt. Yep. Which I do.
He's more of a off red shirt because he doesn't die. He's not going to die. He doesn't die until he puts on the orange jumpsuit that he's wearing in Operation Annihilate, hence off red. So, yeah.
But thematically, he's here to be hurt. So I kind of wish he had more of a meaningful role, but he's extraneous to the plot, which is fine.
I love how he's like, "Do you think this is decorative or linguistic?" And she's like, "I'm just a cadet. My first mission." It's like, look, if you don't study like linguistics, if you don't want people to ask you about it.
Yeah. But it is her being a bit of a idiot. But
you know what I got from her in this episode is shades of Linda Park, Hoshi from that one episode of Enterprise, where she's like not sure she wants to be there. It's just supposed to be a short short mission. She wants to go back to Earth to teach, and then they have to beam over to that alien ship where there's all the dead bodies, and she's freaking out. And
yeah,
it had tones of that.
She felt younger, but
yeah,
even though she wouldn't be, she'd be the same age. No, that's a good comparison. But I do think it is different context because she obviously is. This is her first mission. It's kind of like Boimler. My fourth planet. My first this. So it's her first Comet, first EVA professional thing, first on the job. But it does seem very silly there. Very silly to complain about being asked about your job. Like, do you know why you're here? To do this job. Literally. But she's the first one she's been asked ever. So she looks dumb, but in context it works well. I guess it's just hard to go from being you're the genius to you're an idiot 2 scenes apart, thematically, but it helps that the scene's so dark you're kind of not thinking about that. You're thinking about why it's so dark. Are they being dubbed? I don't know. It's so dark.
I got definite Discovery shades during this.
More
Dark
so.
cavern.
Yeah, more so.
Everybody in EVA suit. It's like, oh man, not this again.
And Eric agrees, and that's what I didn't like in this episode. I thought that the effect of the egg was phenomenal. The energy, spark, lightning, whatever. It's really, really visceral. And integrated beautifully well with the... Like really, really well done. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. God, that's great. Oy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yahtzee. Yeah. There's a bill of energy. I suggest you... Oh my god, they killed Sam. You bastards. Yeah, it is. It's a very impressive hit to Kirk. So. And they did establish earlier that there's breathable atmosphere in there, so they're like, first thing is turn him over, get his helmet off. I'm like, okay, that's maybe not a great idea. Can still be infected by some virus in the room or something, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, Spock takes it off instantly, so he's determined it's safe, and we all trust Spock. So
yeah. Anyway, they try to beam them out. They can't because the force field's gone up, and then we get the defibrillator mode on the tricorder, which is dope. A little probe, attach it to the thing, and you got to assume the suit has built-in connectors at the side for where you put the defibrillators. Yeah. So I love that feature, and that's an amazing thing to consider that the TOS ones have that as well. So, yeah. Yeah,
it works. The limitation of put it on the plate, that's what sells it to me. If it was just, like, his suit does it, no. The way they did it was smart, I thought.
And again, the tricorder screen display for that is on point. TOS, 100%. Boom. They especially didn't misspell defibrillator.
Well, some people can misspell Comet, some people defibrillator. Well, that's a much harder word.
It's true. MKW, 1 pound 80. I like that plan. It's a good plan. That's a bit goofy. Yeah, I like this plan. I'm happy to be a part of it.
It's all a little bit goofy. So guys, keep voting on the poll. I want to get at least 100 votes, as we have got a clear winner, but I can change with more votes.
Here's the poll. I haven't even read it. Who was your favorite character this week? Uhura, number 1, Chapel, or Hammer?
I'm kind of surprised by the result, actually. But it's a case of you have to pick one. I wish there was like a first, second, third choice. You could vote points, so it kind of, or vote more than once, but that's okay. Do you have a like goal, Stuart?
I do. I already set it for 150. So guys, hit that like button. You have 164 people here. That should be no problem. So
I mean,
hit like.
I want to see like Spike.
Ooh, hashtag like Spike. Haven't done a hashtag like Spike in a while.
113. But you could click like. I mean, literally, you, the wonderful audience right now could click like. 113. If you clicked like right now, that number right would go up. Would go further into the stratosphere. And if you imagine there's a like atmosphere, the higher the like, closer to touching that ceiling of like sphere. So help us touch the like sphere by clicking like. And also, brief question, and if you guys can let us know, how are you watching us right now? On your TV, on your computer monitor, on your phone, on your iPad? How are you watching us right now?
Or just listening to us, like doing something else.
Sure.
A lot of times I'll listen to a
audio
YouTuber. Yeah. So while I'm doing something else. So let us know. That's interesting.
Chat.
Yeah.
I assume computer for a lot of people, but I mean,
I don't watch much on my computer as far as YouTube. It's either on the TV or on my phone. Yeah.
Let us know, guys, right now. How are you watching us? Phone, TV, pad, listening.
PC, laptop, computer monitor,
Oh,
TV
wow,
hooked
nice.
to my computer.
That's nice.
Desktop, laptop.
Actually, these do look pretty good on a big screen TV, on a TV with the crisp LCARs at the bit rate I'm sending it. It does actually look pretty good. I'm always quite pleased by that. Phone YouTube, Aussie, nice. And yet you can still comment. God, that must be annoying though. Yeah.
TV and phone. I do that for a lot of lives. Like if I watch Salty Trekker, I'll have them on the TV. I'll have it live on my phone muted. And that way I can comment really quickly on my phone and be part of the chat while watching still on the big screen. So.
Oh, really Blakes. That's so cute.
Let's see. We got Eric Martin, $5. Here you go. I have to go back to work. Ooh. Good to see you, Eric.
Django. Yeah, you bastard.
Simon's on the toilet. So.
Phone costs the TV. I like that. It's 9 AM here, so not putting you guys on my phone to listen to put to state power. That's harsh. Watching on my iPad and cleaning the kitchen. That's funny. Yeah, I can imagine because I'm seeing us on both screens and being us, which is a different perspective, like late at night. But if it's Australia, it's like really early in the morning on an iPad in a kitchen like this. It's kind of a funny experience.
120-inch projector at home to watch you guys on. Wow. Damn.
So another bit of an internal question. Oh, Matt!
Happy birthday, Matt!
We said birthday like an hour ago. You weren't here.
Yep.
Happy birthday! Everyone said birthday. I was going to ask another question and we're going to ruin it by happy birthday, so I'll wait a minute. NZ Fade. I don't know, probably. I think I've got the right amount of hair. Probably could. I need a stylist though.
I think a lot of people listen to us while they work. Like if they're working like a line assembly or something, you can just pop your earbuds in, listen to us. You don't really need to see a lot of these conversations. So it's more like a podcast.
Well, so. if you're a visual learner and you remember the episode visually, you can just instantly. I do that all the time. You don't need to watch it, and so we're just as good listening. And you save battery life.
Yeah.
Wait on to, or whatnot.
Hit like. Everybody hit like for Matt's birthday. That should get us up to 150 for sure.
That is true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, Aussie. Yeah, that's true. Friday the 13th, your birthday. Ooh, omens. Omens. Cool. Okay, next thing.
Oh, Kirk's stable. They sedated him, but he needs medical attention.
And now ignored. First episode.
Yeah.
Which is fine, just a bit funny.
And Spock gives her a bit of a pep talk. Which, yeah. That's actually later. Hold on, that's later. Sorry, I'm messing up my
But again, great aliens, really nice texture. Beautiful, yep. Full props to them. Very, very Michael Westmore. He'd do the exact same sort of thing. Exactly, really channeling That, yeah, great.
Kit 10K sent another $10 in PayPal, and he still has that challenge issued, by the way. He'll
Ooh.
match the highest super chat, which right now is 20 euros.
Oh.
So, but he says, hashtag likes Pike. Like Pike, that's good. That is a definition before I started talking to you guys, and I'm watching on my TV, and like you, Stuart, I use my phone to type with no sound. Yes.
And Ethan's weed trimming, so he's doing real life. So you're outside looking at a beautiful sunny day, and you're listening to us talk about Star Trek. I was supposed to say Star Trek Pike there, Star Trek, while pitch black my end and just chill day your end. That's funny. What a thing we weave. What a world we weave.
So Pike is asking for suggestions on how to get through the force field, and Ortegas comes up with phaser harmonics, being able to basically shatter the force fields with the right frequency.
Which I don't buy. Now you've reminded me. That's never really. I think it was a thing once, but that's why, like, the shield would be able to change its harmonics, you'd think, to counter that, because it's there to protect the thing. But it's irrelevant. It doesn't happen anyway, so it's a moot point what it could do or not do because they get stopped. But yeah, back to the egg.
Oh, and yeah, this is the pep talk. He's like, yeah, I've been practicing. How was it? Not so good. Oh, she also says about Chapel flirting with him.
Yes.
That you're always honest, unless your girlfriend was like that. She's like, I'm kidding.
Although you wouldn't say it unless you whatever. So it's a bit of a bold thing for her to say, really. Although she did say earlier that always speaks the truth. It fits in quite well. Just as a bold thing to say.
Yeah. Snoopy McQueen, $5. I had my concern about Ethan Peck, but he is nailing the role of Spock, and I actually like him. He is funny and has a sense of humor. Yes, I think he's doing a fantastic job with the character. So,
yeah, I mean, it's all depending on what he's given, and a lot of Nimoy stuff was obviously situational. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm sure it'll be good. As more dust.
Back on the Enterprise, they want to fire the phasers, and just as they're about to fire, they get hit. By what? No, by whom? So then there's a
easily the worst part of the episode. Feels like a JJ thing, because this
needed a line saying they must have been cloaked or something, because there's no explanation.
Or incoming warp signatures.
Yeah.
I don't, guys. And they don't even say it was. It must have been hiding next to the in the gravity well of the.
Or in the blind spot, or sensor blind spot of the Comet or something.
But this has been at least 10 to 15 hours since they originally fired the ion, because it's 2 days. So because I assume when the shields go up, it signaled these guys to come help them, which is why they took the entire time to get here. But that means they weren't here. If they weren't here, how did they get here? They would pick up incoming warp. That's what happens. So it's very, very weird, and they're not even like coming to the side. They're directly in front of them.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very odd. Maybe the director was meant to like have a decloaking effect when it panned that they just didn't use. It's a really, really awkward edit. Really, really awkward edit. It's not good.
And Donnie, kind of. He thought the battle sequence reminded him a lot of one in Nemesis. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But I do think the battle's the weakest segment of this episode. It's just not very good.
I do like seeing the Enterprise doing its thing, though. Actually maneuvering.
Well,
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, my dad said it felt like Doug Drexler finally got his way. How he moved the Enterprise in that first fan film for New Voyages. It moves really like.
That was Newtonian physics, where it's just like doing stupid stuff.
But it's moving more. This actually
felt. It's like you can feel the weight of the ship when it's moving.
You can feel the weight, but it's definitely more than the original Connie could move. Like the refit couldn't do that. The original Connie couldn't. It's pushing it like I wouldn't have it ever do that. That's too much. And if you made the Connie do that, it would look silly. So it's
I think they made it look great though.
No,
I really enjoyed it.
It looked great. It's just that's not a Connie couldn't do that, but it looks great because it's their Connie. But we're introduced to
I was imagining the Enterprise could do that though. But that's me. So.
And I'm not actually flown one. Well, if it did, Sure.
in Bridge Crew. And you're right, it's not that maneuverable in Bridge Crew.
And even Bridge Commander as well.
Yeah.
But Stuart, this alien though, 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Would recommend.
And every time I hear this is Captain Christopher Pike of the Federation, I just imagine, hello, Christopher, I'm Neo.
Neo? Keanu's here, what? Neo? Wrong franchise, Stuart. Nero.
Yeah.
Now, this guy, the problem with this guy is that with the amount of digital around him, he looks fake. And I guarantee most of you thought he was fake. Turns out this is actually a man in full set, a full costume. This is real. This is a full head mannequin puppet. So he's only moving his mouth. Everything else is completely... the guy can't see. He has zero... He can't see or hear. So everything... we can hear... So everything is happening, including the puffing of the head. It's all animatronically controlled. He's on an LED wall slice. So he's physically being filmed here in that set. But to my eye, they've done like a weird distortion effect over the top. It looks CG. You know what I mean? It looks so... But it's real. And it's weird. You know? What do you guys think? Do you think it was real or any sort of CG? Because I just thought it was CG. Very good.
Everybody's got jokes today. General Grievous is like alternate episode name, Comet me bro.
Yeah.
And Robert SDM says, retconny.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think it was a real or not? What did you think when you first saw it, Stuart?
I thought it was CG for sure.
Really good CG.
Yeah. I didn't think it was all CG. I thought it would be like a mannequin or something that they CG overed, like CG'd over the mouth and stuff. But I really like the alien, honestly. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And we get introduced to the shepherds. He's like, really? Like, that's what the translator's saying? So.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I think we all love the view screen concept rather than the window with holograms, because there's so much focus with him standing there talking directly to the two-dimensional view screen man. It's extremely clear, very focused. There's no awkward distortion of our guy who's moving and walking and saying, look at it's so focused and clear and crisp and nice, and it's so Star Trek in stillness. And Pike is so in control. He's so in of himself, and he's so.
That's how he always step to like have them face to face, essentially.
Yeah, hopefully he'll stop doing that. I find it a little bit annoying because that's such a thing to do every time. But I think for this, it's like
it's fine for the odd encounter here and there. But yeah. General Grievous, $2. It's a fake. Sorry, can't resist.
Oh yeah, facial. Yeah, good point. Yeah, everyone thought it was CG.
Yeah.
Because there's so much digital over the top of it, but yeah.
It's no Balak, but still realistic.
But I mean, I think it's
Balak.
I mean, puppets, great way of going, because that's the thing. He never moves. He's so still. He's so considered. You don't ever see him from any other angle. Do it, puppet, beautiful. 10 out of 10.
But we hear about Mahonet.
Yes, the Dune
the Comet.
savior, Stuart.
Yeah.
The Picard. What is the Dune guy?
One of the ancient arbiters of life. There's only a few left within the galaxy. If you tamper with it again, we will not hesitate to destroy you. Don't touch my shit, dude. 141 likes. We're still not at 150. 9 more likes. Guys, 9 people out there haven't hit that like button. If you're listening to us and cutting edges, stop for a second. Pull out your phone. Hit like. And then continue your job.
What was the name that I said sounds like a Dune?
Mahonit.
And the thing I was thinking was Kwisatz Haderach. Very similar. Very, very same language. Maybe the Dune aliens made them.
There you go.
Dune universe. Now, the first time you watched this, I kind of was not listening fully in the sense of I know he's a zealot but once you watch it the second time, you're like, well, no, this guy genuinely did follow it, genuinely did make cultures grow. You understand his sincerity because he's seen it. time after time. For so long ago, they've done this journey that they don't remember when they started, which implies, at least sort of hundreds of years. And Pike is respectful as hell. Like, gotta give it to the man. He's so on, like, so there, but he's still obviously, he's a comet dude. He's like, well, it's not a comet. But once you watch a second time, you have a whole different appreciation from the vibe here, which I like.
Eric Martin, $5. Nomad will eventually cure Uhura of humming while she works. Oof. Love how Pike here is like, scan this ship. What kind of weapons it's got? You don't want to know, sir.
I mean, I do. That's why I asked. So that's why I mentioned a little bit. She's not very good in the not piloting stuff, I think. All those little things. But also,
MKW.
it helps the audience because we don't get to know, which means we can't judge them for it. Too many to talk about. Oh, okay, so a lot then.
It's bristling with weapons. I think it's a Predator. MKW, £4.50.
Thank you.
They should bin Disco season 3. Or they should bin Disco and Section 31 show and launch 2 other series after this set around this era, like they did with TNG, DS9, and Voyager, with these visuals, plus 2 crossovers.
Can't we just have a TNG show in the TNG era with proper visuals? Or a Voyager one? I'd rather, if you're going to spend another 50 million, just make a Voyager era with the correct costumes. And I don't need more this era. I'd rather have more that era with faithful, because they can't change it. They've got to make it faithful. There isn't any wiggle room when it comes to. No. This is good, and I'll get 7 seasons, but no, give us that stuff too, please. That's why the video game is so important. Resurgence, like that's just canon. Just done properly,
Jason 6690, member for 28 months at the rank of captain. That's awesome. Ortigas equals new Jet Reno. Sassy. Love it.
I would say she's a better Jet Reno, yeah.
I wouldn't say better, it's just different. She's not as deadpan.
Well, Jet genuinely hates you as a person. Ortigas likes you as a person. There's a difference in intent. Not to say that, so I like that. Ortigas means better, but also much younger. I mean, she didn't go through, a horrifying thing that we know of. Interesting.
But here we get the whole, if it wants to destroy the planet and kill itself in the process, that's what it'll do. If it wants to bring life, it'll do that. You need to just leave it alone. It does what it does. Don't interfere.
Which I appreciate the poeticness of it. It would be nice if they'd mentioned at this point that we know there's a destined path. Like make a more oblique reference to there is a path, there's a destiny that will fortune. The way it makes it sound makes him sound like a villain of, hey, if he wants to kill people, do it. I don't care. But it's not. There's a fate. It would have been a small tweak the script would have made, but did they hit all there?
And Kit 10K throws in another $10 into PayPal, so thank you. Saying, somewhat random question. The actor who played the Romulan senator who said it's a fake in DS9, I've always wondered how much he's been ragged on for the way he said that. It's dramatic. Anyway.
Well, I don't think it's that recognizable if he had
we'll
any longer hair. It's very, very specific look.
Yeah.
His voice is pretty good. I'm sure if he does Trek conventions, I mean, imagine every other person. Because if you're also only in one episode, and you're to sign stuff for that one episode, of course, with one thing. Well, I don't think that was a meme before the internet. When it got shareable in that 1 second clip vibe, then it became a thing. I doubt in 1997, people were saying it's a fake. What's that from? Oh, episode 20. I only ever saw this many episodes. Before you could just watch it and find it. If you missed the episode, you wouldn't get it. And I think lots of people missed episodes. So.
Anyway, Pike pauses the communication and says, I want to know about their ship. Incredibly advanced systems. The ship's faster than ours, and their weapon systems, let's just say we don't want to piss them off. So, it's a big baddie.
No clarification. And this was definitely their big mistake. Clearly, we have no chance. And they even say later, we're outgunned. They're not outgunned. Based on the context. Although I will say, I appreciate there aren't giant fire extinguishers every time they get hit. Because even though this is at 20%, there isn't fires everywhere, there isn't sparks everywhere. The ship is still doing well, even though 20%. which I prefer to have if the tension feels less. So it's a double-edged sword of you don't feel the 20%, but I'd rather that than big sparks and dying stuff.
There's a few times where there's like steam coming down, and at one point there's like some right behind them, just on the steady stream.
Yeah.
I'm like, those replace the pyrotechnics, and they're better, but stop. Every now and then's okay, but
yeah, it's very minimal. I barely noticed it, but I asked for 150 votes, and I asked the question: who was your favorite character this week? And another runaway victory with Uhura at 47%. Then Chapel at 22%, Hema at 18%, and number 1 at 13%. So there we go. Well done, Uhura.
Let's see. So, guys, hit that like button. We did hit 150. We're almost at 160 now, but let's see how high we can get up. Let's try to get to 175. This is a great live. We still don't have any new members, though, so click that join button. See if they maybe want to help us on a monthly basis. If you can't super chat often or whatever, it would be great help to us. So, and yeah, we'll have another poll up here in a minute, and then we can move along home.
Almarain, counter egg, Almarain. I do wish there was a moment here where, because there's the cave was black and now there's lots of lights on the walls, but she hasn't been singing in between. I wish there was a moment where she starts humming and it glows from nothing. The fact that it always starts with lit, I'm wondering why is it already. Maybe it's taking their talking as singing because it's still harmonic. But I wish there was I wish there'd been something else, like with the ship appearing, like a connection point of she's just so something starts humming, and we don't even see it. It's so gentle it goes up, because we do get later. But I just wish there was something, because it's already now. This is how it sort of stays for the next like 30 minutes. You know, small thing. Yeah. But I think it's one beat there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is the pep talk scene. Sorry, I said it earlier, but this is it. And then she starts humming.
Third pep talk, 1 episode, Stuart. I get what you're doing. I get it.
You be quiet, you. And it reacts to her voice, so she figures out response to music. Good job. And then the Comet itself starts emitting the signal, the same tune, which Pike recognizes. So
we have a brief clever comment here from Eric. If your shield's down to 20%, it means your shields are still working. There shouldn't be any damage to systems other than to shields. Impact with the shield should overload the emitters. You say that, but Nemesis, the entire battle revolves around them lowering their shields, and their still stuff gets damaged. In Discovery, any shields going down means massive sparks and fire. I can't take it as the middle. Phasers should not lead to damage, but torpedoes have kinetic energy, and that doesn't all get dissipated by the shields. So there will still be some level of oomph damage, and also different shield emitters at different points of the ship will be overloaded, and then other ones will kick in. So I can imagine certain parts of the shields something will get through, damage a subsystem, then other shields will kick in, and then because otherwise all space battles are kind of redundant, because all ships get damage up until the point of 0 shields. And at that point, every torpedo should be we've lost impulse engines, like 1 torpedo. So clearly that's not how it works exactly. But Discovery takes it to the extreme. You're right, if there's shields at 30% or 50%, there shouldn't be big fire. It's like, where's the damage coming from? It should be small things. What do you think, Stuart?
Well, yeah, phasers are designed to get shields down or weakened, so the photon torpedoes can punch through and actually do hull damage and take out like big sections of the ship. So,
but shields aren't designed to take kinetic damage. That's why when they hit an asteroid, it massively affects shields, whereas a phaser blast wouldn't. It's because they're not designed for that. Deflectors are designed to help with that sort of stuff, but because you only have so many torpedoes, but phasers are unlimited, so it's a different sort of warfare.
Now here he asked the computer to identify the song, and it did sound like Majel Barrett to me, and a lot of other people, I might add, on last night's live. It's actually the woman's name is Alex something who did the computer voice, and I think she did a fantastic job. So it did sound like the original computer voice to me. So
Yeah, and I heard it and I thought it sounded like a sort of a very low grade man. Like, could barely hear the man. I didn't get Magell at all. And definitely didn't have the working. Like, it just sounded like a person. I was kind of surprised how, like, it sounded so different to a computer voice from TOS. I kind of wish they used the
It
Discovery
sounded like
one.
the TNG one.
More
Yeah.
so, yeah. I mean, it was fine. I think the Prodigy one's much better. The Discovery one's better. It would be nice if they kept the same computer voice because, same computer. Like, but it's, because we said in our review, you said it was Magell. And I thought, oh, wow, they finally used the Magell Roddenberry archive that they made 12 years ago that they've never used once. Literally never used once. I mean, obviously, as technology improves, they can synthesize between. It'll be more worth it. But this had been the first time. This had been a really great time to show it. Although it would have sounded like 80-year-old Magell, not 40-year-old Magell. But did you guys think it was Magell? I didn't think for a second.
Yeah, put in the chat whether you thought you heard Michelle or Michelle.
Magell.
Michelle. Anyway, Omnitographer, $2.
Oh.
Move Along Home is a highly underrated episode. No, it's not. Kit 10K sent $5 to PayPal saying, when you talked about Move Along Home, Avery Brooks has said he can't stand that episode. Even thought he laughed when he said it. Even though he laughed when he said it. Yeah. It's because you get reminded of that song all the time. Sure, there's some good stuff in the episode.
It's creative.
Yeah.
Well, it's like an Alice in Wonderland episode, like of how silly and weird and surreal and stupid it is. I love the actor who plays the main guy. He's great.
Yeah.
Just in a better episode. It would have been better. I was going to make a point here. Oh, yeah. I wish... There's a few things I wish they explained better in this episode. I get that it... So my interpretation is the egg is retransmitting the song. I don't know why it is. And they're picking up on a signal. Because they're not detecting her singing, they're detecting the egg. Because there's more than her song. So what do you think's happening here? Because if that's their big... They're doing it, but why would it be transmitting her song...
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. just repeating what it's hearing, maybe trying to make contact with the ship, perhaps.
So you know what I mean? There's a bit of disconnect of like, well, I don't quite know why these things are happening.
Then we get the different pitches and the light show, and I love how Lon is like, no, I skipped music class. What's going on here?
What a stupid line. What do you skip? What even music class? Is this just weird? Such a weird, yeah.
But you can see the pad as well at one point, and you got her little scribbles on it and circling things, and it's actually a pretty awesome visual. But she asks, oh, hold on, that closed. That wasn't supposed to close.
The only thing I'll say about this segment is that at this point I was getting visual fatigue from this exact same scene, lighting and style.
Me too.
Because they're just standing in the same background. It's not engaging anymore, and it looked cool for the first bit and past it at this point.
Yeah, and the fact is, it was reminding me of Discovery too much. And it was bothering me a bit.
So I wish they'd done some different visuals here. Or even more stuff with the egg itself, like walking up to it, because that would have helped break up monotony. Yeah, this is kind of losing me. Like I said, it starts to just the creativity just drops significantly as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Vincent Visions, $2. Good episode. I'll come back and watch this later.
Please do.
Thank you for super chatting, and hello, Vincent Visions, on your rewatch. How's it going? But yeah, what if the code is harmonics? And they just talk about this different octaves and all that.
Mm-hmm. Nerd stuff.
And how math, music is based fundamentally on math, and that Vulcans speculate that's why music is so appealing to the ear, because it's the universal language, mathematics.
Wait,
blah, blah, blah.
Are you saying it's the power of math, people?
Oh, good God. Yes, he likes science. And music, apparently. I like how she's like, try to match my tone. And Lon's like, no, man, I'll just break it. So we've already set up the Spock sings in the Star Trek short. So I knew that was going to happen as soon as she said
that. I mean, sings is a bit generous. He is making noise and not matching the tone particularly well. So I could imagine this being an awkward Nimoy. He sounds awkward. I thought it was fine. Although some of these shots, I mean, this shot in particular, you can really see it's digital. Like when it gets too bright, because the black level, it's always the black levels. The black levels on the screen are nowhere near real black because it's a screen and they're being lit. This I thought, and you can literally see the edge of the wall. You can see where it stops at the floor. So I think definitely the brighter it got, the worse it looked. Because I mean, this, oh my god, you can literally see just, that's really bad.
Then she does the
wow.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Boom, 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 boom. And the egg opens up.
And it's never really played upon. It opens and they get beamed away. There's no payoff to this. It's weird. You know?
Yeah, I know. I thought there'd be a control surface or something in there.
Well, that confused me because she hears something and she goes, "Let me try something," and it works. I don't. Again, there's a disconnect. She instantly knew how to say turn off the shields with zero information and no hints. I guess we're running out of time in the story, but there's another disconnect of, well, what? I don't... Like, I mean, there's a few just points of that doesn't work for me. Last week was just fucking sleek as anything.
Yeah. Stephen W. Fathry, $5.
Steven.
It sounded like Magella to me. Also, do we have different alien makeup people? Does not seem like Neville Page and Glenn Hendrick. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think they're the same.
I mean, I assume they want to keep getting paid for the... but it's just different briefs. I mean, they can do... I'll search now. I mean, they can... Just doing good stuff. I see. Location managers, no. So we got costume supervisor, department head prosthetic Chris Bridges, makeup Maribeth Keys, prosthetic supervisor J. Allen Scott, prosthetic design Bowden Sternborough, sculpting Joe Bowers, coordinator Damon Weathers.
So it is a different team.
So it's a different team, or at least not Neville specifically, but they'd still need him on Discovery, wouldn't they? So yeah, different team. It's great. Looks, great makeup. Yeah.
I miss Face Off.
Oh, they cancelled.
Neville Page and Glenn Hendrick were two of the judges, and V. Neal as well. You watched it when you were here.
I loved it.
Remember?
Yeah, I loved it. That was very good. It was weird.
And they dug Drexler on for an episode as well as a guest judge.
It was weird because, like, damn, they made such poor Trek in Discovery, and here they are with Michael Westmore. It's like he is spinning in his grave for Klingons, and they're like all hanging out in the green room, be like, you fucked up Klingons. Like, yeah, we know. We were told. It's like, yeah, we were told the Kazons. Yeah, we saw. It's like. Oh, and did you know that that bit where she sings, she's on a spinning rotation table?
Yeah.
Which does look like it when you notice. I don't get why she's singing the exact notes. It feels so random. I know she's a genius, but there's not enough learning. I get that she isn't the one that can decipher the markings. That's not her thing. She's a linguist, not a cryptologist, I guess. But there's just a disconnect here of it was that easy. Shields go down, beams them up, boom, done. Like that's it. It's a very odd pace there.
I wish there would have been more collaboration between her and Spock. Spock knows the math. She knows the harmonics and the sound and the language.
Yeah.
So I wish they would have kind of been exchanging notes. And it really didn't. It was just like, let me try something. Mm-hmm. Oh, it opens and the shields are going down. Yay!
Well, not just that, but Spock in TOS would be able to work out linguists. Like, he had skills. He's a very, very smart man. He's smarter than Uhura in general. He does feel very like, oh, you do this, I'll do something else. So, no, you have some knowledge in this. You have some abilities. It is surprising. It would have been nice to have a bit more of a duo. But that's okay.
Anyway, shields go down, force field goes down, and they beam them out immediately, and they get Kirk off the sickbay. And then they raise their shields. And, yeah. He tries to talk to them, say, let's try to find some common ground, and they end communications and fire on them.
I love Pike's acting.
I gotta say,
very good.
I love when the displays go like red, blue, green, primary colors. Just it's very much, it's different than Discovery's like glitchy computers, and it's a lot more colorful and bright. So
I thought it was super obnoxious.
I like it
because this is the future. They wouldn't do that. It just if it happened every time, it just felt so forced. Damage.
It happens to Discovery a lot too.
Yeah, but theirs isn't that literal. Like it's like spark plugs. They haven't got spark. They've got proper fuse control. They haven't got sparks going, but all the monitors are. Every hit, the red, green, blue goes wonky. Why? I don't get it. Sparks make more sense to me. So I was trying to ignore it visually, personally.
Good tea, nice house, $2. Singing was good, but nothing beats DS9. Alamarain. Moving on. Anyway, they fire like 3 photons or 3 torpedoes at the Enterprise, which the Enterprise easily moves.
And it goes from orange to yellow for some reason in the middle, and back to red again, but orange. Don't know why. It swaps weapons. It's just where there's both tension and no tension in this battle. It's very odd.
Yep.
It's not a good battle. It's not really a battle. It's we're not going to shoot back. We're just going to take hits and we're going to move. Well, they do talk about we'll fire, and they fire red phases, which was disappointing. And for some reason, the aliens have no shields, and petrol explosions. And it's like, but they're more advanced than you. Why haven't they got shields? And if they have got shields, their hull isn't powerful enough to take primitive phases. And then they don't even say their shields are damaged. They just say they're going to take a step back and.
Yeah, they're taking. What do they say? God damn it. Anyway, but yeah, it'll be less than a minute. They're recouping essentially.
But then they clearly just watch the Enterprise for the next 5 minutes. It's not a good set of scenes, really. They'll do better. And this is the trailer stuff. You know, this is from the trailer. So this is quite a letdown from that. But okay, because then there's a whole thing where Spock has to go to the shuttle bay, get in a shuttle, launch the shuttle. But they're still not shooting you. So how long has passed? And this is now 2 days later. So this has been probably like 5-6 hours minimum. So why aren't they shooting you? It's very odd that just the whole last third just kind of lets stuff down.
A little bit, yeah. Spock's like, so if we can't touch it, what if we don't touch it? What if it moves itself? And it's like, oh, and they cut. And then it's like, everybody ready? It's like, okay.
I did like that he wasn't there. You don't notice it until the second time. They clearly pan to show he's not there. I don't know why he's piloting though. I guess the Enterprise needs a better pilot, but that's a great view of Spock Station though, without him there, with the obnoxiously big bright lights that stop him seeing the displays. But okay. Ah yes, Ortega's called out for the rhetoric at the Academy, and she's like, "Look, word gets around that you said this when you were like, we saw your old tweets, Ortega's. We went back to your old Twitter account.
Yes.
That's what it feels like."
Yeah, we checked your social media.
Ah, Ethan, she tried spinning. That's a good trick. But guys, we are still $45 away from our minimum 4 super chats and 13 likes. So if you we're getting close to the end now, so we really would like those last 40. And I'm going to jump away for 1 second and come back and vote on the poll. But let's see if we can get 2 super chats before I get back.
Ooh, 2 super chats and 2 likes. Let's go to 1675. And a new member would be nice too. So if you guys want to check out that join button, we'd appreciate it. So now that I have you guys alone, yeah, that definitely sounded like my Joe Barrett voice just for the record. So. Anyway, yeah, at least another $40 in super chats if possible. And don't forget, Kit 10K has put in that challenge that he'll match the highest super chat, which so far has been, let's see here, Simon Uphill, who super chatted 20 euros, which is probably about 27 bucks American. So, just putting that out there. But yeah. Smooth Garrick, nice name. Just finished it, lads. What an episode. You can't touch this. Nah. Hammer time. How did Spock launch the shuttle without being seen? Good question. Don't know. Shuttles are small.
I'm back.
Oh, God.
Oh, thanks.
Scary.
Oh.
Scary.
So yeah, piloting. Lots and lots of weapon hits, despite shields at 20%. Loads of shield impacts.
So one like right on the strut. It's like, oof. Place that with a straight one.
And takes all the tension away, because they get hit more than they have been hit the entire battle.
But it looks really cool. I love this scene. I'm sorry. I don't care how much you complain about it. I think it looked great, seeing the Enterprise flying around doing its thing.
Yeah, it's just if you don't buy it, it's especially disbelief. If you don't believe it at all, you can't connect to it. All they had to do was say shields at 70%, it'd be fine, or even 50, but 20? No,
well, they've had time to return, power them back up.
Have they?
The 20 was quite a long time ago.
I mean, not in this... Yes, that would make sense, but why have they attacked in between that? I mean, there's a just disconnect to all these different time and space things. I don't know. Good
tea, nice house, $5. Far too often during a disco space battle scene, I can clearly hardly make out what I'm looking at. In this episode, everything was nice and clear, easy to follow. Kit 10K sent a PayPal, sent $25 to bring you closer to the minimum, and just because I can, so thank you, Kit.
Amazing. I will say, I was looking the second time around for the shuttle bay doors to open and shuttle to come out.
Yeah, that would have been cool, actually.
Like, you wouldn't notice it, really. It would be very quick, but it never does. Because you have to do it now. That's the whole point of going close to the asteroid, is you launch without being seen. So, you should have done it in the CG.
Yeah, I liked them flying through the trail of the comet, getting hit, like the little impacts. Because the enemy stopped firing because they don't want to hit the comet.
Which is
That's
great.
Cool.
Makes sense.
But I'm not a huge fan of the shields being that close to the hull. I really prefer the shield bubbles. But that's just me. These feel like more like polarized hull plating.
Oh, yeah. Which they're not.
Wabyed, £2.
Hey.
Samuel is such a nitpicker. It's a well-made show.
I hate that analysis, because if it's so good, the small things are fun to point out because I have all this breadth of knowledge. If you don't care about small things, then anything's good. I mean, these aren't nitpicks. I don't do nitpicks. Like his hair was on the left parting. It isn't. Yeah, it isn't plot holes.
We could nitpick Discovery more, but the big glaring obvious things are getting in the way.
Yeah, I actively don't nitpick. I just do the stuff that's bigger because I don't think nitpicking is important. But it's the big stuff that's important to think that you might not remember or you might not think, you know.
Joseph Barbado, $5. I know that phaser thing is a nitpick, but when they were blue and disco, I love the show. But you say that, but those phasers were multiple colors in TOS. They were sometimes blue, sometimes they were red, sometimes they were kind of a pinkish purple color. Depends on the episode. So different phaser settings, strengths perhaps.
But when they're like 65% blue, we all associate them with blue. I was hoping they'd be blue. Yeah.
I was too. Yeah.
So yes,
Prime Minis,
we were actually looking for a shuttle bay. We always call Discovery Bay for having shuttle bay open. I want to see an open shuttle bay in that shot. Yes. But one time I want to see the bay open. Shocking.
Yeah. Fry Minis, $2. Shepherds were Githyanki from D&D Space Modes.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay.
But I do. I mean, I like
David.
I will come and see them back again. Honestly, I think they were cool.
I don't think we will though.
No, but season 4, Stuart. Season 4.
David Barach, $2.
Thank you.
Is Lon Khan's great-great-great-granddaughter? We don't know. We haven't had any answers.
I mean, Khan presumably had at least like 60 or 70 concubines. So
yeah.
Descendant, yes. Direct descendant, probably not. I would assume the DNA would be strong through generations. So I would assume Khan was like her 4th great-grand cousin. Like, they won't go. I don't think they'll go that direct. I think they'll get to the benefit of the name without having to literally be the name. Personally.
Daniel Milborn throws in a $50 super chat. So there you go, Kit.
Purple.
One to match so far.
Oh, that's so true, Stuart. Ooh, I didn't think of that.
Started watching your channel in the last month. Appreciate the discourse. Well, thank you.
You appreciate it with the purple. That's wonderful. We'll keep tuning in. We have lots of videos coming out.
Hope you're subscribed.
All these shows. Yeah, make sure you're subscribed.
Because a lot of our videos, if you look at our analytics, like 44% of the people that watch our stuff aren't subscribed. So
I've seen a lot worse and bigger channels actually quite good.
Yeah.
And
it actually was down to 30 something like a year ago.
Oh.
But you know,
well, that means we have more viewers.
Yeah.
Now, it is worth mentioning, Daniel, that we basically stopped referencing the visual canonness, because there's no point at this point. So it's, that was how we did the pre-stuff, because until we see the show, we can only judge it by that. So yeah, almost entirely positive. But we'll call
Rebel
it.
Poet. Yeah. Rebel Poet 71 says a concubine wouldn't have a last name. I know, but then her kid has another kid, and then the kid looks into it and goes, "Oh, I'm related to Khan Indian Singh. I want to take that name or whatever." Who cares, honestly?
Well, no. I mean, he was the ruler of India. He could force all his concubines to take his name. Like he was like a god. I mean, yes, he could make them have his name. I mean, once I sleep with you, you are now my property. You aren't named Khan by marriage. You're named Khan by ownership, and therefore you must. It's eugenics. Well, we know nothing about it. I would assume these weird, the hubris of man and women and strength was more then. So yeah.
Mark Lawrence,
yeah.
$5.
Right,
I've been here, but have been busy getting ready for my away mission tomorrow. Ooh.
Yes, have
Good
fun.
to see you, Mark.
I've seen some pictures. They look fun. I wish I could, do them too, but I can't.
I haven't seen any pictures. Mark, let me know what's going on. And we have 187 likes. I want 15 more likes to get to 200. So hit that like button, guys. But no, I did like the comet debris scene, kind of weaving and then going up above the thing. Like the Enterprise looks good doing what it's doing.
Yeah, very graceful.
Yeah.
But this is another pacing problem I had. They turn so they get in front of the comet, right? Clearly that's the idea. They turn all the power off, all the systems off, and yet they still have comms on, which means he says turn everything off except life support. Well, and comms. But he didn't say that, so that's another little writing error. Well, gravity, but comms is still obviously on, so whatever. And then as soon as they talk to the guy and it cuts away, now the comet is very, 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 very far away. But they were literally just in front of it. Because they said, if you blow us up, you'll destroy the comet. At this range, they would not kill the comet. So how are they this far away? And they can't be zoomed out. There isn't a camera. They left 50 million miles away. So I don't understand this bit, because they are in front of the comet, and yet now they're very far away from the comet, and yet there's now a risk of being destroyed, but not. I don't understand this. Did you?
It's a sensor reading. You can have your sensors show whatever you want from whatever angle. That's how sensors work. You don't just see what's in front of you. You can get especially if you're weaving through all that stuff, getting sensor readings, you can project what the comet would look like from a different angle.
But where's the other ship then?
What other ship?
Why wouldn't that be
the one following them?
Yeah, I mean, it's very big compared to the comet.
That's a good question, but yeah, it's not line of sight for everything on the view screen ever.
And clearly, well, I mean, if it's a window, this would be what they're seeing. But I just think, and clearly they aren't here. But I just thought, like, show the comet and show the ship in front of it. I just don't. It's a really weird editing thing. Like, I think they don't know what they're going to show until the CGI shows it, but it's so unclear. Then they mention the tractor beam grabs them, but there's a little noise. Like, there should either be a shot of them tractor beaming or a. Because the first time I thought they were tractor beaming the comet. I had no idea, because they were already far away from the comet. I had no idea they were tractor beaming the Enterprise. I assumed they were tractor beaming the comet away, because they said, "Otherwise the comet will hit us." So I thought they had to move the comet. So I was like, "Oh, that's weird." So the whole thing kind of fell apart for me a bit. Just bad visual storytelling.
I do want to call Pike's bluff, though, where I don't know if it's a bluff. He says trilithium resin in the warp core will ignite and destroy everything. So it's like the Corbinite maneuver type deal. So
there isn't
worth pointing out.
in the entrance.
Okay, I get it.
But it's good though. It's a good bluff. But there isn't any.
Anyhow, yeah. So yeah, it's for help.
Her surname would be Snow then. That's good. That's a good reference. Hey, bye Simon. Good to see you.
Then we get Spock launching off of an asteroid, and I gotta say, the shuttle looks amazing. I love the shuttle, inside and out. The interior is bigger than the original one, but you got stations in the back, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just awesome.
Yeah,
and I was thinking, if this had been made first, with like Pike, this would be a Discovery shuttle because they wouldn't have learned their lesson yet that people don't like the Discovery shuttle. They wouldn't have redesigned this thing.
Yeah.
And this thing looks beautiful in flight.
Oh, it does. This was a much better scene for me compared to the other one, and they're just like masturbating with this scene. Like it keeps going. They're throwing their money at the scene, and it's great. They're really having fun with it. My only complaint is that he's literally got a steering wheel, which looks out of place. Like of all the things that I don't buy, literally
Good control yoke for good steady control though. So I mean it would make sense to have it, but yeah,
just not in the Star Trek logic.
Say that.
That's just like the whole point about the Delta Flyer is those are antique controls, but clearly they're not. They were used in TOS. But again, this isn't visual canon, so ignore them. Like that's not how they looked. Whatever. But I mean, whatever. That's the only thing, and that's a very small part of the whole thing. So, and the heat shield melting is a really cool idea. And a cool ability that's worth using or thinking about for other stories. If shuttles can do that, they can, heat stuff. It's an interesting idea. As it melts a chunk of the asteroid of the comet, disintegrating as it goes.
No, this sequence was amazing too. That thing looks so nice in motion. Damn.
Yeah. And then they
you get
Pike on the bridge.
Yeah, Pike with the steam behind him.
Just chilling, very relaxed. Love it.
What does that say? Oh, proximity alert. Yeah. Meanwhile, the whole time I'm thinking, well, I know Spock doesn't die. Just saying. I think he's in some other stuff.
I'm not sure why they had to have this fake out here. It seemed like an unnecessary beat of tension because there's literally.
It's what they would have done in TOS. That's why.
I suppose. But yeah, and then I guess by breaking a piece.
Yeah, it shifts the weight, so it would change the trajectory.
Even though it's already like 30 seconds from hitting the planet, so the gravity you'd think would be enough to pull it in either way, because it hits the planet, the remnants, in like a minute. So it was right there. Again, not quite visually told, I think, as well as it could have been. I think maybe we were rushed by the end of the shoot, because all kind of, small things, but they doesn't quite sell as well, I think. It's fine.
It's like the same problem that happens in TNG episodes, and that's one of the problems with having a full story in an episode. Sometimes it's a quick wrap-up. Sometimes it's
100%.
Perfect. Other times it's very quick. And this one,
I think you're right.
Again, like I said, it felt very TOS in its resolution. So,
no, I think you're right.
It's fine.
I love the visual of it skimming. Its water vapor skimming the atmosphere is a really interesting visual. Although the second piece, I guess, already disintegrated into the atmosphere. I guess.
Probably.
I mean, if that could do it, why couldn't the big piece? I don't know. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Got to point out the Spock laugh. Are you okay, Spock? Sometimes things just go so wrong. You just gotta laugh.
I like it was off screen, so it doesn't look as awkward. It's just a quick little bit and move on. Just right.
I wish you would have seen a shot of the shuttle, like, because the last thing was the proximity alert. Then we get the laugh of something going so wrong. Would have been funny if there's like a huge like gouge out of the side of the shuttle, like it definitely slammed into something. But
yeah.
But yeah, the ice will change the planet's atmosphere
forever,
and make agriculture and plant growth more amenable, and actually change social development.
Now, how does this affect General Order 1? Not interfering in the development of civilizations. Well, the entire planet, you change from a Class M to a really Class M. Bit of a change to their planet. I think you probably broke the Prime Directive there.
The Prime Directive's in flux in this time period. It's still not 100% locked down, so
you know what I mean. But apparently it's Destiny, so... Because if you can do this, then why don't you go to every desert planet and give them water? Well, because it would change the development of the planet. You're not meant to do that. Like, it's lovely. It's just, the opposite of what they should do. But wasn't
necessarily the plan. This was just a side effect of the plan.
They should still get in trouble, though. Like, we won't give you a permanent thingy, but you still broke the rules. But yeah, I'm just saying. It's a big deal to do this. It's amazing.
Then the guy comes back on screen and says, "So you witnessed a miracle, and maybe don't be so quick to judge others." But William will not part his enemies, and Pike's like, "Thank you."
Yeah, it's funny how he doesn't believe in this when he literally has a vision from the future.
Yeah, I know.
And he fought AI from the future and changed the future. But yeah, I like this guy at the end. He's really relatable in a weird way and just gentle and yeah, nicely said. And then it's really rather pretty, the rain. I like the scene. It's very well shot, very well choreographed, well directed. No words had to be said. Very, very nice.
And because they're in a rocky, area, sandy and rocky, it's not used to getting water, and so
Beautiful.
it's their village is gonna get flooded in like half an hour.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah, and they're also not used to this, and all their plant life's going to die. It's not used to having water. It's going to be a horribly weird few months and years, but I think it's still pretty. It's still pretty.
Yeah. Pike's captain's log. Always great to hear captain's log. I was wondering who made the comet, and if there's more like it. So whether it was meant to happen to Persephone 3 is now the other thing. But then Uhura translates the numbers and gets this image, which is cool because it's the exact same chunk that Spock broke off, which the comet had sent them like hours beforehand. So it's almost like it knew what was going to happen. So predestined kind of thing. About is it from the future, or the people that created it set it on its path to do its thing? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to be there to do the shuttle thing to break off that piece. So cool.
Yeah. And it's not even conceptual. It's fully like, yep, this is predestined. There's no wiggle room really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's interesting. Mm-hmm. It's makes you think. I think Pike's a little bit too easy about it because it, other things imply then all their actions are predetermined. La la la. But it, like I said, quick wrap up, and it kind of feels like a quick wrap up, and
We've said that about multiple TNG episodes. It's like, holy shit.
Many
it's
worse
just to resolve within 4 minutes at the end. It's like, oh, damn.
And then we get the double resolve with Spock and her basically saying, you know what, you might not necessarily want to be here, but maybe you should be here. Maybe you are right for this. Think about it. Think about it. Yeah, it's a good payoff.
Starfleet would get a good officer if you stayed. So
yeah.
And that's it.
Well, it then ends with another setup, another payoff to another setup of the same episode, because they keep doing that. Of, you know what, Chris? I know you know the names. I know you think you know the future. But the fact is, you can make a billion choices between now and then. Just because you think you know, try and change it.
That's what you do. You hunt these kids down and kill them all before they join Starfleet. That way you'll never be on the mission with them. Or yeah, just encourage them to not join Starfleet. That's what I would do.
Send them brochures to the Vulcan Science Academy instead, like a free tuition. I mean, I'm intrigued at this number one saying this because she feels very clinical and logical, and she's arguing against time. Feels a bit against character to me, but she feels from so much. I get the personalness, but it doesn't quite sit right with me about the character, and the fact that sometimes. Like, sometimes when someone's on death row, accepting it is important, because if you have hope until the end, it can be more hard. So Pike accepted his fate. He was at peace, give or take, until someone reminds him fully. And now he's going to be thinking again, kind of change it. Like, she's making his life worse in the day-to-day, conceptually, by doing this. And I kind of felt sad for him, honestly. Like, he was doing okay.
I don't know about you, but if I was Pike, I'd be like, in 10 years, all right, what's on the docket for today? Training cruise. Look at those those cadet. I recognize those. You know what? We're gonna cancel this. I got a thing. I got personal.
I booked it 9 years ago.
I just got a phone call.
Got a hair appointment. 9 years ago, it's booked.
I gotta go. Can we reschedule this for next week? And I don't like those people together. They're very rambunctious together. Split them up. I would find different ways to get out of this. Come on now.
I mean, that is so true. That is so true. But I think by that point he really would accept it. But no, 100%. If he knows the people, I don't know if he knows the ship they are on, because he only saw the inside. I don't know. Training crew. That's all he could get. But yeah, once he sees the people together, all he has to do is just not have the ship leave dock or take the day off. Yeah, It's a, like I say, they're really playing it interesting with the idea, and they could take it so many different places And I'm really excited to see where they take it. They've really shown good writing here with how they deal with it, and it could go anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he calls up all their files at the end, and that's the closeout.
And they're all children.
And they're all just little kids.
Oh, and it's genuinely quite, like, upsetting in its own.
It'd be easy to take out. Just saying.
But I found it quite, like, it's like, yeah. Because they're also pretty young. I mean, I don't... 9 years, they're all in the academy? I guess they're all... 12? They all seem... Like, that bottom one looks like 8 to me, but okay. Like, you have to be over 18 to get in... Well, 17 to get in the academy, but...
Yeah, they'll probably join at 18, 19 kind of thing, so... And they're cadets on the training cruise, so...
Yeah. I think the top one's fine, but... although the middle one's got a shuttle, actually, I just realised. What type of shuttle is that? That's not the... Is that normal one? Yeah, it's normal one. Okay. So the guy took a selfie with a... Just a nice detail behind them. That's cool. Yeah, on the shuttles. Oh, 10 years. Okay, so it'll be 19.
Yeah, and I hope nobody checks Pike's search history looking at little kids.
And he says he thinks on every day, so... Not, yeah. So that'll be 18. Dear me. It's a really good end, though. It's a nice poetic end.
Yeah.
Whew, okay. So, guys, put in your final scores. Super Chat scores would love. A $5 on your score would be phenomenal. At least another 20, which is a pretty low number, would be phenomenal. And your scores out of 10 for this. And do you want to compare it to Discovery? So 2 scores, your enjoyment factor, and compared it to all Discovery. Because those things are relative.
You should put up the new thumbnail, because that one still got the spelling mistake.
I did try.
I might point it out again.
Oh, you mean this one?
Oh, did you?
Oh, no, sorry, you meant, yeah. I did it for the main video.
Area 51, $5. 10 years in the future, Pike. I think I'll skip this cadet training cruise. You can take it, Captain Kurtzman. You'll be fine. Oh, I love it. Kit 10K, $5 PayPal says, when you talked about Pike looking at the training cruise, he could say, not that ship, let's use this ship. Yes, that one's got a bad baffle plating. It's going to be problematic, trust me.
His talk sentences are out of alignment by 0.1. What, are you Cat Picard or something? No, I can hear it.
Good tea, nice house, $5. When Pike said, I wonder who made the Comet, I cringed, thinking that it would be a season-long arc. Thank God for character arcs over season-long arcs. Well, it's something that Kirk would say, too, in his Captain's log, and they never revisit it ever again. That's fine.
But I can honestly see them, finding another such created entity in season 3 as a payoff to this, with different, with more aggressive and mean Guardians, whatever, the Shepherds. So I'm fine with it.
One that's actually determined to destroy a modern civilization. That's just
Yep.
But then comes in the Prime Directive of, should we do that because they might develop into like space Nazis or something? So should we let them live, or should we let it kill them?
Yeah. And guys, we're $14 away. Oh, $16 away. That'd be beautiful. 1/6.
Wab Yed throws in
9.
£5.
Thank you.
I think the story would be that Pike somehow avoids his fate, but somehow he actively chooses that fate because it leads to something really important.
Yeah. It's tricky. I'm excited to see
Clay Williams, $5. Nothing to say really, but I wanted to chip in. Thank you so much. We're $9 away, so $10.
But you did say something. You said $5.
Yes, super chat. If you want to say something, super chat your score out of 10. Because I'll read those afterwards, and Sammy will read the non-super chat ones. So.
I'm putting your scores right. I really want to know your scores, and I'll also finish our poll as well. I asked, what do you do the space battle? Good wins by 50%. Okay, 35%. Not so good. 12%. So, yeah, again, winning there. And
Kit 10K sent his that $50 PayPal, so matching that super chat. So thank you so much, Kit.
Boom.
Another 5 more likes too on the likes to get up over 200. All right. So here's the deal.
And has your view changed given our pretty in-depth talk?
Maybe a little, yeah. I definitely enjoyed this episode. Like I said, the Enterprise just going through that Comet debris and like up and over. It's a really beautiful visual, I gotta say. So that was.
Would it be fair to say it's something you've never known you've wanted to see until you've seen it?
Well, yes, but it's something I've always wanted to see at the same time. So I can visualize a lot of cool stuff in my head as far as what I would do with a ship, and I can never explain it to anybody. So that kind of fulfilled that a little bit. And also the shuttle looked amazing in this one. Very TOS vibe to it. Loved the CG alien, or not the CG alien, but the alien. Thought it was very impressive. And again, well written, naturalistic dialogue. That opening scene with just the look on Pike's face when he opens the door and sees Uhura in her dress uniform was awesome. Spock was good. I did like his second pep talk was better than the first one, honestly. So, and even Lon. I know Lon didn't have a lot to do in this episode, but I didn't like her the first episode. This episode, she's giving Uhura looks and stuff and saying the odd snarky thing. I am kind of warming up to Lon a little bit, so that's a good thing. And, let's see how good Samuel Kirk does in the future. If he's the one that gets taken out all the time, so nobody actually really dies, he just suffers all the time. That'd be kind of funny. But we need to see more Chapel. Come on now, guys. Anyway, score-wise, enjoyment-wise, for me, this is going to be I'll say an 8.5. Some of the scenes in the with the egg were a little long, and they definitely reminded me a lot of Discovery, just with the way it was filmed and those spacesuits. So that bothered me a tad. Other than that, though, I wish they would have done some more stuff at the end, like shown the ship and the tractor beam, and had not had such a quick wrap up, as opposed to focusing so much on the music and harmonics bit. That could have been whittled down quite a bit. So for me, that lowers it a little bit. But yeah, 8.5. So there we go. Are we doing another score as well? That's the enjoyment score. No? Okay. Perfect.
They are. We're not. Yeah, so for me, like I say, the bar was set so high. If this was the first episode, it would be, that was great. Not perfect, but great. So lots of great character moments. That's the thing. The overall story is great. Some of the macro story elements are weaker. The overall character stuff is great, with some bits being extraordinary. Mm-hmm. But I like plot sometimes over character, because that's kind of what drives the story. But yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed that they have an ensemble feel where everybody gets something in both episodes, except Hemmer wasn't in the last episode at all, and yet they are able to give one character a lot of screen time and feel like a hero, and yet still giving Pike and Spock feeling as if they're major players, while not diminishing either. That is a very good tightrope that they're wandering on, and they've succeeded 2 out of 2 times. And they could easily have not had any La'an. They did, and she did fine in her small appearance, but it was just to have her there and be pressing. Although, no, I'm wrong, Mbenga. He wasn't in it. They couldn't get everyone in. Apart from him. But, some of his characters are hard to get in just by their very nature. But apart from that, though. But yeah, apart from that, it was, good. Score-wise, I'm happy to say what we did last week. We both gave it a 9. I think this is 1 point lower at an 8. I'm not going to go much lower. I definitely can't go higher, so 8. I mean, not much worse, just not as good. 8's very good. I just have a few more critiques. Yeah.
Somebody said, or is it here?
Oh, yeah, we don't need everybody. Exactly.
Is that poll a joke? No, I think he was going for let's get 100% on a poll for once.
Well, no, because when you were talking, I just thought, yeah, everybody's given something. Everybody feels reasonable. Everybody like somebody more after 2 episodes. Every single character is more fleshed out in this than Discovery. In 2 episodes. And the poll I asked is, do you think the actors are better in Discovery of Strange World? Because the fact is that it's a combination of both. But I think the acting is better as well than in Discovery. Just in general. I think that the acting is just better. And the poll result is asking which one do you think the actors are better. Because you've now got a chance to know them already, so you can judge that. And currently the poll is what, Stuart?
97 for Strange New Worlds, 97%.
And we've never had more than 98, I believe. So
I would like to get 100% pull once, but somebody always. Anyway, because they're just being bastards. Clay Williams, $2, 8 out of 10. Mark Lawrence, $2. How close to the Alachi you think the Shepherds got? Yes, he sent me a picture of one of the Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Online aliens.
Oh,
blue. They look exactly the same, pretty much.
Oh.
So yeah, it's pretty similar.
Okay.
General Grievous, member for 9 months, the rank of captain. Thank you so much, General.
You're so memorable as well in your 9 months.
Yeah. I wonder if Pike is going to end up in the situation like the 10th Doctor. He's trying to avoid his end and thinks that he did only for it to happen anyway. Yeah.
Well, before.
Clay Williams, $2. Is that poll a joke? There it is. That's the one I was looking for. It was a super chat. Laughable Larry, member for 2 months at the rank of commander, says, thanks for all the work you guys do for this community. Well, thank you. We appreciate hearing things like that. So,
well, thank you. We do try.
We need another $2. There's last super chat slots available right now. Clay Williams has it. Anyone want to snipe in to just get that $2 would be awesome. Samuel, want to read some of the non-super chat scores?
I'd love to. And of course, we are $2 away from our round number. Helps out if you can. So the scores this week, as we said, Stuart's 8.5. I am 8. What do you guys say? You guys say 10 out of 10. Perfect NZ fade. 8 out of 10. Simple 5. 7.8. 10 out of 10 again. 5 million out of 10 for Discovery. That's an unfair metric. 7 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 9 out of 10. 8 out of 10. 8. 10. 9. 9.9. Jesus. 9. 9. 8.7. 8. 8. 8. 9.5. 8.5, 8, 7.5, 9, 9, oh, that's different. 8.5, 8.75, 6.7, 9, 7.6, 8.75, and yeah.
Got a minus 6.8.
That's not so good. So yeah, that's
I think
yeah.
You misread one of them. You did say 6.7. It was a 7.6, but that's okay.
Well, no, sack ball says 6.7, like 3 lower. And then it says minus 6.8 because he gives 2 scores. So it's not.
Yeah, but I was following along. You did 8.7, and then you did 6.7, and I'm like, what?
I always hope he doesn't.
I
always assume he's not following along, so I can say whatever I want as well. But I try to stay clear. But that's funny. He pays attention. Dear me.
I try to. Laughable Larry, $10. I feel bad. I care about Nurse Chapel more than Dr. Culber. I find her a lot more interesting. Even the engineer who got only a couple of lines, the character seems so much better. Yep.
Well, remember, Culber was written to get killed in the first season with no intention to come back. So they didn't develop him at all. He was just the love interest that got killed to motivate the other guy. Then they said, we want to bring him back. They did. What do we do for him? He'll be here. Okay, great, he's here. What next? Oh, he'll be the psychologist. Has he got psychologist backing? No. Will it matter? No. I mean, those characters were not fully formed. They were retcon, changed, whatever. These characters, you can clearly sense they all have a full backstory, full motivations. They rehearsed, they were in lockdown, they had more time to rehearse and prep. Discovery, they just went in, changed it all, and it feels bad for reasons. I mean, we know the reasons. So yes, they're all better characters. Yeah.
Ruben Loza, $2. Enjoy.
We will. Thank you.
Area 51, $5. Visual reboot, yes. But for me, this looks more like Star Trek. Yes. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So good to talk about Star Trek again. And just, the whole story has been completed. We don't have to speculate what's going to happen with this character in this storyline. That's not important.
Well, it
goes nowhere anyway.
Well, it is remarkable, though, to have just and done. See you next week.
Yes.
There's no... and I'm just with Pike. Just like, I look forward to seeing what happens with Pike. That's it. There's no more... It's very strange. Like, we would not be able to do predictions. There's no trailer. There's no anything. It's just, next week we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
See then. It's very odd.
Yep.
Just fine. It's just very odd.
But good.
Yeah.
Grant McGregor, $5.
Thank you.
Hat Samuel, have you seen the Star Trek archive project given to
Mm-hmm.
Otoy,
Mm-hmm.
making CGI models on archive material and full TOS Enterprise down to every room.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the full
Somebody,
TMP.
somebody asked me what I thought about that, and I wasn't aware of it last night, so I said maybe ask Samuel. I don't know if it was Grant that said it, but...
oh, yeah, brilliant. I love they're using Mandalorian tech to do some virtual recreations. We're not seeing really what it is yet, because they're just teased.
that thing. Yeah. That's impressive.
It is. I mean, they already used Donnie. Like, Donnie, who worked for Starfleet, already built all the sets, so they just had them. It kind of skipped them like 2 years worth of work, which is great for them, because they've done all the work. And then Darren Dochtman already built the Enterprise for TMP Director's Cut. So they already had the Enterprise for that, for the exterior. So they've done... almost none of it was built especially for it. That does not detract from it at all. But to get the original director of The Cage, who's obviously an old man now, in to do something is wonderful to see. I hope he remembers it. It was 56 years ago. I mean, can we remember 56 years ago? One of his many things. Although, briefly, Stu, I know we've already got all of our things, but since we've got quite a big audience still, have you seen and what do you think of the new Doctor Who announcement? The black sex education actor. Did you see the announcement? Because it was all over the internets.
No.
Okay. Who in the chat saw the new Doctor Who announcement?
Clay Williams, $2.
14th Doctor. 14th Doctor.
I'm not aware of it. Sorry. Is it a good thing? Do you think it's a good thing?
Well, I want to see what the audience... I was going to say, what do you think first? But let me get a...
I don't care, because I'm not a huge Doctor Who fan. I tuned out a little while ago.
I know you did. That's why I'm questioning. I'm trying to find a picture that represents him without looking silly. I think that's probably an appropriately silly one, but not being too silly. What did you guys think? Who care? I'll let you know what I think. Doctor Who. Excited or not excited about the new casting? Give me 2 seconds. I did actually post about this on my Twitter, which I try to do more of, because it's a different sort of medium that's interesting. So this is the new actor. This is him from his... So he's in a show called Sex Education on Netflix, where he plays a odd but relatable gay man who sort of has relationships in the show. It's kind of complicated, but he's a fun friend. He's energetic. He's interesting. And he looks younger than he is, but they're trying to look like 17 in the show. He's actually 29. So
I think that's cool, actually.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to maybe seeing if he's good. I might tune back in. I don't know.
Yeah, my reaction was very much he's really good in that show, and he's got a certain quirk in it. I'm like, oh, actually, I could. He's got those raw talents. That's like, actually, yeah. I was like, good idea. Yeah. I was very quickly sold. I mean, Jodie didn't know her from anything, so I couldn't speak to it. She obviously proved to be a poor doctor, mostly because of the writing, but also she didn't have her identity. This guy is different, but also feels like he could be a quirk, because the Doctor is quirk, but it needs to be a unique quirk. I have zero, all positive vibes. Capaldi was a weird one because I didn't know him at all, except Dad said he was the guy who swore a lot on a show that some people, it's a very niche show. Having watched that show, he's like, damn it, he's a good actor, but boy, is he an insulting prick. And then he's the Doctor who's like, he's grumpy, but because I mean, they're all unknowns. You know what I mean? You don't hire a famous actor to play a Doctor because that's not what it is. And this guy actually won 3 BAFTAs in a row for Sex Education because he's so good in it. So I think he won a BAFTA at the place that he was when he got told. Yeah, really interesting.
Clay Williams, $5. He's brilliant in sex ed. So there you go. Now, one thing I want to ask you about Strange New Worlds real quick before we close out, which I should have said at the beginning. Ozzy brought it to my attention. What did you think when it started last time on Strange New Worlds? It's like, oh, fuck's sakes. I don't need to see this every time.
I skipped
You didn't get last time on TOS. I know. But the fact that they still have that's going to be for the character arcs, for sure.
Sure.
But do you really need it? I know TOS didn't really have character arcs because it was just very episodic, even with the characters. But please stop that. Stop it. Just stop it, guys. Don't do it anymore. The serialized, I get it. If you maybe missed 2 episodes and you want to jump in and kind of get a recap, cool. But anyone following along doesn't need last time on. They do it on Battlestar Galactica all the time too, and it's like, for fuck's sake, it's just, I get it. I just watched it. I watched 4 episodes in a row now. I don't need to see what happened last time.
I don't care. I skip it. Oh, I literally don't care. I found
I skip them too.
I found the Picard one annoying for the last episode because it was 2 minutes of last time on.
Yeah.
When you have a 48-minute episode and 2 minutes of that, 1 minute's titles, 1 minute's credits, you've lost 5 minutes for just nothing. That's a bad sign when you use 5 minutes. It's over 10% of the episode is just.
Well, it's fine in that episode because you watch the first 2 episodes and you watch the last episode and you know exactly everything that's happened. It's fine. You don't need to watch the middle of season 2.
But it's very in depth, that last one in particular, which makes sense. It's the last episode, but it's a lot of the episode. I don't care. I skip it. I have zero comment besides. Yeah, like I say.
Let's go to the poll.
Oh yes.
So Discovery is at 10%. Stranger Worlds is at 90%.
I would
Some
vote.
contrarians out there.
I would vote Stranger Worlds for better actors. But if they also know their characters better, then they can project them better. Who is Culber in season 1? He's Doctor. He's gay Doctor who loves other guy. That's it. There's nothing else to him, you know? These all people all have distinct character things they can bring to it, which means you have more diverse acting. So, yeah.
Well, on that note, let's call it
New
quits.
Doctor 2. Good job. And New Orville trailer. Go look at that as well.
Yes, that was good. Yeah.
Very epic.
All right, guys. So check out our content. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Notify yourself with the bell icon. And we got content coming out this weekend and all next week from this episode.
Some interesting stuff as well.
Guys.
Some good discussions.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good weekend, everyone. Until then, he is Captain Foley.
He is. I am. What? And he is Commander Cockins.
He is. I am.
What?
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.